welcome back to another episode of How You Do That With Your Boys. And today with the boys, there's the girls. The boys and the girls are set. Oh my gosh. I think it's only appropriate if we introduce our other house. So would you like to... Okay, John, would you like to start?
Hi, my name is John. Oh, and this is my wife, Amanda.
I'm his wife. Can you say a bit more about me?
Oh, yes.
I mean...
And she's great.
And?
And she loves cleaning.
Oh, there we go.
True.
And she's also the mother of my child.
That's important.
And she's beautiful.
Yes,
That's what I was waiting for. Okay.
Right. Oh, that's very important. You guys have seen Amanda before. She's been on an episode. And just so we're all looking at the correct cameras, there's a lot of more camera. Okay, that's our big camera. That's our camera. John and Amanda's camera. Okay, we all got it. We're good. Hi, my name is Ming. This is my beautiful wife. Her name is
Suyen.
And thank God she chose to legally marry me. So I'm very thankful. She's the mother of 2 of our children. And yes, she is a full-time mom, stay-at-home mom, who does makeup on the side.
That's correct.
Thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. What about you?
My name is Dennis, and this is my gorgeous wife, ex-girlfriend, fiance. Yeah, because I have to name all the names.
You're right.
Cover all base.
Mother of my beautiful daughter, Jade. Shout out Jade, although she's not watching this, thank God. And yes,
What's your wife's name?
Jazel. I'm getting there, guys. Jazel Lim. Make sure to follow Jazel X Lim. Shout out.
Oh my goodness.
If you guys notice how nervous we are
I know,
today, it's because we really are very nervous.
No pressure, guys.
What do you mean? It's just a wives uprising. There's nothing to be worried
Guys,
about.
girls, we just started this episode. Don't guys.
Yeah, usually on set, right? People have paramedics behind. We got marriage counselors and wedding lawyers behind, all behind the set, just in case, you know.
But you know what's funny, you know? I just realized I feel a bit insecure, a bit naked.
Yes.
Because previous set, it's slightly tighter.
Yeah.
I feel John so close to me, I can hear you breathing.
That's true.
And now suddenly my boys are like so far, and in between us, we have our girls, which are
Don't
gorgeous.
let us get in the way. No, please. Shall we change?
No, too much technical problems. No.
Later the camera can hold.
Correct. You guys might have noticed it's a far cry from the storeroom that we always sit in.
Yes.
So because when the wives are on set,
It's warmer and
I have a
brighter.
theory on that.
oh yes,
So you know how, right? When you go out and eat on your own, you can eat zapfan. Right? You can sit down, you can order 5 ringgit zapfan or 7 ringgit nasi lemak and eat on your own. No problem. But when you go out with your wife,
I understand.
right? Then the 7 ringgit becomes 70 ringgit.
You're right.
Right? So this episode is just a reflection of
What
that.
do you mean?
That's true.
What do you mean?
I so disagree with you.
Don't leave him hanging like that. Do you agree?
Excuse
She's telling me.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
good looking.
Today is the day that we don't have our bros back. We will only have our wives back.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a day where it's no longer bros before, I can't say the second part. Bros before wives. Today is going to be interesting, guys, because obviously we've decorated the place up a bit. We're very happy that we're ending the year. This is one of our last episodes for the year. Guys, it's been 6 months of episodes.
Yes.
And today, the ladies have amplified the set with us.
Oh, yes.
Look at this. We have a beautiful set. We look like we're going to shoot a sitcom at some point, right?
Friends.
Yeah, this is the modern version of it. Thank you to Dyson. They are part of this episode, which is a dream product for both guys and girls. Just want you guys to know. So Dyson, shout out. We'll be talking about very interesting things. Number one, we have absolutely no Dysons on set. So that's already going to be interesting. We are all Asian couples. And one of the most requested things on the How You Do That show was to get the wives on board.
Just wanted to say that, went through the comments and they were like, hey, I want more of the wives. Yeah. I'm like, yes, I want.
I feel like it's not the men who were requesting for the wives. I feel like it's the ladies who watch our podcast.
Correct.
And they are the ones that are requesting for the wives.
They're like, I need...
So you
what's
want
that?
us
The woman uprising.
Why say things for the husband to know?
Yes. Because it was really interesting. Like, the people that have gotten feedback, like we went to Singapore and everything, right? There are students watching the show. There are wives watching the shows, girlfriends watching the shows. And I'm like, It's a dad show where I'm very glad for everyone watching. But apparently there's just not enough wives shows out there or like, girlfriend podcasts together. So they're like, bring your wives on set. And we tried. One episode, one wife, apparently still not enough. So you know what? Get everyone together and that's what we have today. Should we start off with just some...
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh.
No, thank you to you guys for requesting for this.
We are so happy to be here with our wives.
Because these are the things
Smile,
that
guys.
we've been
Smile.
waiting for. Our whole entire 6 months of podcast is so that we can come to this day at the end of the year, right before Christmas, right before New Year, when we said we wish. We don't need to wish.
Yes.
Today is the day. Thank you.
We had Jazel's episode.
Yes.
Jazel, you came on and there were some interesting comments. Let's kicking off right away, right? Carmen is asking, am I the only one who wants your confinement lady's contact? She sounds amazing. And I wish I had such good confinement lady during my first confinement. We're just going to hop straight into that. Who is your confinement lady again?
No, we were actually at a confinement center.
Yeah, confinement center itself. So there was
Carmen Low, check your facts.
No, maybe it was our confinement lady.
ours.
Yeah,
we
it was
were
John's.
reading about
So we cannot give you the
facility.
contact.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because they wanted to
No, we're
open
gatekeeping that.
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry. Seriously, how their one is...
yes.
Amazing. Ours was legendary.
Legendary. That's why they're keeping it
You
for
can slid
themselves.
into Amanda's DMs and try to convince her.
Good luck.
Good luck. Because only I have convinced her.
But seriously, you guys did the impossible. You convinced a confinement lady to become a nanny.
Oh, yeah.
That is, we tried.
She was with us for, I think, 5-6 months.
Then she went, then she came back again.
Yeah.
Then she can.
Yeah, she came back for an additional, 2-3 months. Yeah.
But no one's ever getting in contact, right? No
Well,
one's ever.
depends on how you ask.
Okay.
Maybe.
Charmaine, you love the series. Thank you, Charmaine. Following since the first episode, it's heartwarming and inspiring to see how guys take on active roles as dads and giving family support they need. Giving you guys moral support to power through this new chapter in life. Thank you. Excited for the episodes. Oh, that's just encouragement. It's not
Thank
encouragement.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness.
Shout out to you, so.
So, my husband from this user called JSLZS, who now knows better, would say this every time we find out one of my girlfriends gets pregnant. My husband will say, you want me to talk to your husband or not? Tell him to just shut up. Don't complain. Just shush. I have zero context as to what this comment is talking about. What does a husband do? Find out one of my
I think when
girlfriend
they're
gets
pregnant,
I
to
see.
be sensitive to her needs when she's pregnant.
What is something that you can never... Apparently you can never, as guys, we can never ask a pregnant girl if she's pregnant. It's too much risk,
Yes.
right? Guys, you feel me?
I guess it depends, right?
I think how close you
Yeah.
are, but just a rule of thumb, better don't ask, wait for them to tell you first.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't ask. Even you're like, hey, you.
Maybe she just bloated that month,
You cannot say she's
you're
bloated. You
out.
must say, oh, you look like you're glowing.
You look ravishing
Exactly.
today.
Yeah.
Yes. See, they know what's up. They've been trained well, so
Sometimes my reflex get the better of me though.
it's like genuine.
Like,
it's a
whoa.
genuine question, right?
You amazing.
Have you ever done that? Like, you genuinely shocked, right? Like, hey everyone, then you turn and then this girl is next to you and she's big and like, whoa! And then there's no saving really. You gotta follow it up with something else.
I mean that happened to me once, but that was someone
What
who's
do you
closer to me,
follow
a friend.
up with? Oh.
So that was a close friend.
But
so
you
when
knew she was pregnant.
I didn't know until I saw. Then she was like, she revealed to me, but that was fine. That's a friend. No, it was just a jacket. I was like, nah, yeah, like you see, he wasn't like, no. Relax, huh?
Hey.
My wife.
No judgment. You're right. But yeah. Hey, so shout out to JSLZS. I hope your husband knows better now. I'm just going to keep on blazing through for a while because this is a special episode, okay? Mel sings Mel. Can I add on to the fire? My first child was born and I can only afford government. It was only 55 ringgit for natural birth
I understand. I think I saw this comment.
and one night stay. My second child was 70 ringgit a few years later. I cannot breathe when I hear your numbers is 8K to 23,000. It's a crazy amount. But I guess T20 level is very different, lor.
Sorry, context. What's T20?
Basically rich, lor. Rich
You are.
Why is it T20?
So in Singapore,
though?
how you guys have low SES and high SES?
Yes.
We break it up into like T20, M40, and
B40.
B40.
And what does
B20.
T20 stand for?
Top 20.
Oh.
Yeah, top 20.
Yeah. That is true.
From somewhere like
I didn't even know that government was an option.
Actually, wait,
Can 55 ringgit? Hell yeah, we should have done
Okay lah,
that.
the second one. Yeah.
You know what we met though? You do water buff in the government. I really want to wonder where they will put you.
They're like, we have a swimming pool. No, we don't have a swimming pool.
Oh my goodness. I got no comments there because I think it was more of around our area got no government hospital.
I think it was just, it's just nice to have options and to know that.
And I mean, for my case, I wasn't. I was expecting lesser, like half of it, but I didn't expect it to go that much.
I'm not gonna lie.
And it was during COVID time, so you know we wanted
It's
the
not like they
best.
send you a quotation before. Like,
Like,
hey,
okay.
would you like to approve
Actually,
this?
that's true, right? You don't go to the hospital and there's like a menu open.
There's no breakdown of anything.
Yeah. You get bill
to
shock.
let you know,
They'll
like,
just give you a range lah,
and you can't
right?
decide to tell them, don't have to wear this glove. When you come in, how many? 5 people don't need 2 people. Only come in. You cannot decide. They decide for you. They come in 6 people, you pay for the 6 people.
I think for me, rather, it was also a matter of practicality because I mean, I know that the government hospitals have a timing thing, right? You might have to wait a bit longer. So as a pregnant woman, I didn't want to wait.
Yeah,
to
right,
be
you're
honest.
right.
And I wanted to give
But-
my wife the best.
Hey!
That was exactly what I was thinking.
But also jokes on us because when we ended up going to the private hospital, we ended up waiting 2-3 hours anyway.
I
So
heard. And then I remember John told us the wing you guys were at was under renovation.
yeah.
Ours also.
Oh yeah.
Yours too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Subang is under renovation all the
So
time.
we didn't have a window. we had
Subang
a
is
plaster.
renovation.
My man dropped the bomb.
We didn't have any sun.
We didn't
in our
have
room.
sun. We had
Oh my
just a
God,
black
that's
color thing covering the
horrible.
whole
It
entire
is.
window because on just right outside our window, drilling.
So Dennis, next one, we go government hospital.
Yeah.
Facts.
70 ringgit.
But we have friends
Together.
who,
Cheaper than our date on home.
I think now increased price already.
Maybe 100
Maybe
lah,
80
100.
ringgit.
That's fine.
Inflation.
it's still a fraction.
I will hold you to your word. I will send camera crew
Is there
to
a
join.
QR code for booking or
No,
something?
Jazel,
Do
you
send
know
over,
what?
yeah?
We should ask them to give birth in a government hospital. How about that,
yeah,
guys?
yeah.
My
Y'all
sisters,
give birth there.
my sisters in Christ.
Calm down.
If our biology let us,
Yes.
I will also
If
reject.
I could carry the baby for you, I would.
You can
But you
carry, you can
can't.
carry, you can, you can
Now
carry.
you
It's
can.
fine. It's fine, bro.
You can try.
Suyen's episode. Suyen's
Yes,
episode. We're going
yes.
on Suyen's episode. My dear wife.
But I just
Quick,
say,
that was
right,
quick, that was quick,
like
that was
people
quick.
who've been to government hospital, they do have very good
Experience?
as well. It's very case by case. But I think
Yeah.
just private, like I guess if you have options, then you choose that.
More the comfort, would you say?
Comfort
Yeah.
lah,
Because it's really
and
hit and miss. We do have friends who went government, right? And it's like perfect.
yeah, really good,
Fast,
good doctors.
fast, everything.
But when you go peak season for government, right?
But-
It's
So what is peak season?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah,
like,
who knows?
I
That's
will
the
give
thing.
birth.
9 months after
Yeah,
Hari Raya
after
or
COVID.
what?
From what I know, you cannot even choose your doctor. So there are things like that
whoever's
like I said, a
available
comfort,
at
you
that
know?
time.
I had quite a bad experience because my grandma was admitted into a government hospital, but she waited so long, even though she had a stroke, that by the time she was treated, it was already permanent damage. So you see, like there's both sides of the coin for government hospitals, right? You take the risk with the
There's
wait.
a pros and cons to both lah. And then I just depends. You want to spend the 20,000 on confinement or you want to spend the 20,000 on
hospital.
delivery on stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The bill shock.
Because I don't want people to think like, oh, private means good and then government
Yeah.
means no good. Yeah.
It's not that. It's really.
It's just what options
Malaysian
you
government
have and
boleh.
what you want to spend on.
That's a guy who wants a green card here. I can tell you that. Oh yeah.
Please approve my water bus.
Now please approve with touch and go wallet, guys. Osh Joyce, wonderful episode. Oh, appreciate perspectives and insights. Great topic to learn as a single. Again, we got a lot of single people watching the show.
Because they want to watch daddies, you know?
I see.
Nah, but honestly, I'm glad
I
because I think they get to learn a lot from this also because we didn't get to learn from anyone before that because
Yeah.
there's no such thing like
Yeah.
this when we were
In the
dating,
20s.
going and all
We
that
had
kind of
Google. We
Not
got
enough.
Google.
stuff. No, now ChatGPT much better. Like. Google was a
that's
bit.
true.
You
That's
ask
true.
one question, then they come up 10 questions for you
Then
to
you
ask.
get
You're
web
like,
MD and it's too much words, you know?
what? Yeah.
I just want photos, guys.
Yeah.
Just give me photos.
Just wiki how this for me,
Just
okay?
give me photos. But it is true. I just want to say for everyone who are like students and youth watching this, thank you. Also, just leave comments to let us know what you want to watch. Because I'm glad you enjoy daddy content. It's also a bit like the real experience was when we went to Singapore to do some work, and they're like, "Hey, I really like your daddy podcast."
Is that how that
the
person
word
talk?
they say.
Yes, yes. Is
You better beware. I'm a bit concerned when he travels alone.
You better not go Singapore. I got ice in Singapore, okay, Minghan?
I was with people. It's just like I asked, why do you watch the daddy podcast? So I know what to expect. Oh no, that's
For you, daddy.
They want the dirt. They want the tea.
yeah.
I mean, for any guys out there or any dad who just became a dad, if you got any question or you want to share your experience, drop a comment, ask, and then maybe we can share it here.
Comment, please.
And then we can talk about it, and then we can laugh about it.
Don't
because-
send picture, just send comment. Okay? It's getting hot in here, guys. Can we put on aircon a bit?
It's
real.
Actually, I want a singlet. It was colder actually just now.
Suddenly heating up a bit.
No, I don't feel the aircon.
JSLZS is back. I'm working full time. My husband gives me a wife monthly allowance. We got individual bank accounts, portioning, spreadsheet trick words, writing down everything. My husband and I have shared spreadsheets where everything is shared. Money, loans, spending, gifts, everything. That's how we make it work. Communication is key. It's the number one cause of divorce. If you don't, thank you for the podcast. Wish you would bring Suyen on more. So we done the last part already. Suyen's back here. But yeah, the money episodes
Sounds like a Chinese couple.
yeah. No, I'm not gonna.
Wow, you very correct. I also feel so. but that actually, to be honest, I think for most of us guys, that's where we want to get to, right? To be able to give that monthly allowance, to be able to provide that much thing, and to be able to come up with that whole entire thing. But wow, you guys made it work. You guys should be on this podcast.
I just want to say at this point, right? If people didn't realize from the money episodes, guys, we don't have the answers. We share our stories. And we share what works for us, because I think where this whole idea came from was knowing John, knowing Dennis. We're three really different guys from three very different backgrounds and three very different wives. And I think the beauty in that is that it just works for each of us. It doesn't have to work for all of us. And we're not gurus. So hey, if you want TikTok gurus, go and find, I'm not going to say who. But yes, Amanda's episode. We need more episodes with the wives, the lady bosses. Well, you're welcome. Already done. This is another episode. I would like to pick John's brains. The way he articulates info and thoughts as a whole is such a calm manner. So admirable. He is my daddy. You see, dude, they're actually coming for you, bro.
The whole first part, Amanda was like, yeah, that's why I like him, until he said he's my daddy.
No.
Amanda's face just changed.
Is this a he or
face.
she?
I don't know who is it.
Now Amanda's not happy about it.
But
Say
people
the username.
Coming for you.
Well, I don't think it's a good idea if you continue doing this podcast.
Yes.
No, John is the anchor. John is the calm, collected, factual
Right.
anchor.
I mean, I see why Amanda fell for John, you know, in that his calm, collected manner in explaining things.
Amongst other things.
Right. Of course.
I see.
Yes. Yeah, look at each other like that. Yeah, you look like.
We're just going to end it with one more comment because, it's not even a real episode yet. I eat to live in Singapore. I live to eat in Malaysia. I eat to live in Singapore, but I live to eat in Malaysia.
So basically, what he say in Singapore, he eat in Malaysia is chap fan. In Singapore is what?
Restaurant.
No,
But I think what the comment is trying to say is that in Singapore you eat for sustenance.
Yes.
In Malaysia you eat for pleasure.
Enjoy.
But I don't agree.
I mean, if you T20 different. If you T20, it's different.
Yeah, it's true. Can I just say I'm very proud of my breakfast today in Singapore.
Oh yeah?
I was in Changi Airport.
Guess how much
You want to
is
guess my breakfast today?
I don't guess how much. I want to guess what.
Okay.
Which terminal?
I had look at that guy.
So, brothers travel for
T1. Because I went to Scoot. I came up here to Scoot, okay? I had teh. I had eggs, 2 eggs. And I had a really nice big... No, not Yakun.
Toast box.
Kilini?
No, not toast box. No. But you want to guess how much my breakfast was? I'm so proud of this.
12.80.
Nope. Nope.
$4.
Singapore dollars.
470.
Singapore dollars.
Yeah. I'm so...
Is it like a food court?
No, it's like a store. So they renovated a lot. I was saying, Suyen, every time we go at Changi, right, it changes. I'm so impressed. Guys, Changi number 1. So sorry, Malaysia.
No,
Changi
it's
is
true.
number
No, I
1.
agree.
I
It's
have
true.
no comments. The Japan airports don't even come close. Like, Changi is number 1. Changi number 1. Changi number 1. Changi number 1. Singapore Tourism Board, shout out. Please come work with us. I had a 470. At a 470 Sing dollar breakfast. I am impressed.
Cheapest breakfast.
Cheapest breakfast in my life in Singapore.
It used to be 250. I mean, just saying.
Now you're the that's it. But I'm very shocked. You know why? They give me 2 eggs, right? And they gave me a cup instead of a bowl. And there's a paper cup. And both the eggs fit in a cup as big as this.
Quite full.
No. The egg very small.
That's not 470.
It's a C-size egg. It's actually a smaller egg. No wonder it's 470.
Actually, one grade A.
But yes, that's my story from Singapore. Other than the fact is everything's expensive. I spent 300 ringgit on Grab taxi. So hey, today we're going to make it back. Guys, we're going to talk about gender norms today. The reason why we're all here today is because I think there has been a very interesting dynamic when the wives come on. We enjoy your presence. You know, we just love taking you along to work, to be here as well. We love everything that you do. But one thing we're going to talk about, I think, is because our audience is a mixed audience. It's actually very interesting because we set this like content up to talk to dads or dads to be. But there's been so many interesting feedbacks coming from both sides of the fence, even the side of the fence where not married yet. Going to have kids, not going to have kids, not going to get married, wants to marry a rock. I don't know. But one thing as Asian couples, hey, no judging here. You know, some people want to marry rocks. We just got back from Japan. People marry weirder things there. Someone married a fan, for crying out loud. Anyway, we're going to have an interesting talk today about what do you guys think about when people tell you men should act like this, women should act like this. I think that's something that, has it been, okay, Dennis and Jazel, has it been something that's very true in your relationship where it can be from family, it can be from friends, how you've gone through your relationships. Boy, you must be like this, your girl must be like this. And then when you two got together, hey, must be like this.
Of chores.
Oh.
Of chores.
Oh, enlighten me, please.
Yeah, I mean, from the get-go, when I was even when I started dating her, you know, like when back then when she was rebelling. in her
Excuse me?
in her fiery era.
I've never met that era, Jazel.
I'm very peaceful and calm
Right,
in my healing era.
Now she is in her healing era. That time she was in her fiery era. So she was out there to pounce.
Oh, on you.
Yes, and pounce on me she did.
Okay.
Oh, do tell.
Okay.
I want to see where this is going.
Because a lot of people would see her and say, wow, she's like a party girl. She's too much, you know. Then it's like, wow, you better be careful. This girl is
I'm not wife
People
material.
tell the Dennis to be careful.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was I should be careful.
I don't look wife material at all.
Oh my
No, but that was when I don't really listen to what people say, right?
Yeah, you never do.
Correct. So I continued dating her and stuff, but we dated for a while, and the more I dated her, the more I fell in love with her and the person that she was. She is.
Was,
is, and will be.
Correct. Was, is, and will be. And our values, our personalities, our character, it really blended. And from the day we met, the chemistry was very, very strong. So that was something that I didn't find in any of my previous relationship that strong. Like legit, she was like the other half of me. So eventually dated, and then in the next 1 month would be our 10th year together.
Oh yeah, that's true. 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Because I've seen you guys navigate from dating to where you guys are now. One very big thing, I think Jazel was going through this a lot as well, right? Is image. Like the gender norm image, right? Like what a wife is supposed to look like, what a mother is supposed to look like. I remember you rebelled against that rebellion even. Like how is it for you today? Like Jade's an amazing little girl right now. Super loud.
Thank you.
That. Also going through a bit of growing up.
Correct.
Like, yeah.
She's going to be a little Jazel.
Yeah, little Jazel. How is that? How was navigating that?
Oh, it's very hard because every time people look at me, they don't think first I'm a mom. And especially because I'm very petite in size, and then the way I dress, people's always like, you're a mom, shouldn't you be dressing a certain way? I said, how are moms supposed to dress like? Yeah, and I've had comments after I gave birth. After I gave birth, I was already wearing a bikini, and then they said, oh, you shouldn't be showing off your body too soon, especially
too soon.
Yeah, like
because I remembered after like about a year. It was after 6 months to 7 months. Then she started working out.
Working out.
She started working out actually after 2 months
Yes.
plus, she started working out again. Then she got her, because we wanted to try that whole pregnancy fitness, and then after pregnancy,
And see how it
fast
goes.
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
can get back. And then she got it back pretty quick. And then we had a beach trip that we went to.
Yep.
And she took a photo in a bikini, and she was, of course,
Hey,
nice.
hey.
Thank you.
Demure.
Melaka blood.
Correct. So the comments came, of course,
It was
positive
good comments,
reaction,
but a
there
lot
are
of DMs were just horrible.
bashing, and most of it
Yeah.
came from mothers.
Exactly.
So she was very sad at the
Mothers,
same time.
aunties.
Like
Yeah.
people who are like, hey, I'm a mother and you're a mother. Do you think
Yeah,
you should
you're a
be-"
mother now. You should dress differently.
You know.
Maybe you should cover up.
I feel like that says so much more about how they feel about themselves than how they actually feel
No,
about you.
exactly, because that was what we saw, and we felt, like, we feel bad for these people for feeling that way. We wish there's a way that we could help you to feel more like there is actually a different way to go. You don't have to, if you don't feel good looking the way you do, I mean, honestly, there's actually a way to change it.
Yeah.
I know it's not, I'm telling you, like, a lot of people ask, like, Jazel, what's her secret? How do you do it? And how do you, I
I ask her what's the secret all the time. I mean, have you seen her butt? I can say that word, right?
Of course.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen. I don't know what you're talking
I see
about.
it all the
Yeah, right,
time.
John, what's butt?
I only see Jazel's face when I meet her. I don't know what you're talking about.
Whenever she posts photo on Instagram, it's just her head only,
I'm
right?
just commenting all the time.
Yeah,
heart
thank you.
eyes,
Thank
know,
you.
I
Like,
restrict her account on my Instagram.
Oh gosh. Hey, but for real, people don't see. I think it was highlighted more after you gave birth.
Correct.
Y'all don't know in general. You guys work out like mad.
To get that is so
and,
much.
and just to put
Yeah.
in perspective for most people out there, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It is definitely possible, but you need to have a work before giving birth and a work after
Yeah.
giving
Correct,
birth.
correct.
Everything she was going through it all.
It was also muscle memory. So I feel like if you want to look good, you have to start working out before being pregnant, during and after.
You're doing
You have
this-
to put
yeah.
the effort to do so. Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a lot of myth behind women pregnant cannot work out. There's a two ways to this. If you've worked out before, like Jazel, like when we met back then, she already started working out when she was much younger, like 20 plus, 19 years old. She started working out. Then when she worked out with me, she was literally working out like me. Like she was going crazy 3 hours with me in the gym 6 days a week.
Even that time when I started out, when there wasn't much in for fitness industry, right? Everyone's telling me, oh, you shouldn't work out so much.
Yeah,
You look
girls
very
shouldn't-
bulky,
Yeah, you- oh.
muscular.
She got that so much. Like you're so bulky, you're so
Yeah,
bulky.
you're so big.
But at that point, she wasn't that big. It was just that she was lean. So when you're
that
lean, you don't have that much body fat, right? Everything just pops. And she has a naturally very broad shoulders, very
And
nice
my aunties would always say, oh, you're looking more and more like a man. You should probably be skinnier.
Then she's the kind of man I like.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, Dennis, understand. But yeah, see, healthy cannot, not healthy also cannot.
correct.
Wear too little cannot, wear too much also cannot. I just want to ask, what is dress like a mom? What is it a look?
I just think that there's a lot of people on the social media. It's like I call it the social media popo, like the police. Like they were, the popo.
Same. It's the same. The
Like
pawpaw
police
and
and police popo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like they will be the ones who like kind of feel like they have to say something. But I feel like it's okay. I understand on the other side why people think the way they do. But I feel this is stuff that you just keep to yourself. You don't have to tell. I feel if you tell and if it makes the other mom feels any less than she is, then I don't think why you want to say that.
Yeah.
So
Because-
like, and it's not like someone that you know lah. If like friend like, hey, you know, I feel different lah. It's like, I don't know you what. Why you want to be a popo, right?
We get attacked by people who don't have kids.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always the people who don't have
I
kids.
get a lot of
Right. On our videos when we talk about stuff, right? They're like, oh my gosh, just travel now. What's so hard to travel?
well,
Confirm don't have
we,
kids,
we
huh?
just traveled. We just came back from a cruise trip.
You try.
But I mean, okay, just to reiterate that, like, we actually really love traveling with our daughter. You know, like it's always a great experience with us. Like we just came back from a cruise trip. That was beautiful. Like we actually didn't think we would had that much fun. We'd be like, yeah, we've been on the same cruise 3 times, partying out, you know, and then this time with baby, it must be very, but we actually had so much fun. We experienced so many different things with Jay, just watching her grow in that 4 days on that ship, on that cruise, just seeing her explore that ship through her eyes. beautiful.
If it works, it works.
It's also chaotic.
Chaotic.
Chaotic, but in a beautiful way.
Yeah, I loved it.
Right?
I loved it.
Yeah,
It's like a beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
oh, Amanda, what kind of prejudice did you get when you brought a Singaporean boy home?
Oh.
I mean,
Did you get any?
yeah. What about you guys? Like, yeah.
Did you get any?
Not as far as I remember, but I think I always get like chastised for like working in Singapore now. Oh lah, you Singapore lah, you bring the Singapore dollar back.
I tried to make it a Malaysian problem, John, but apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it for you guys? I think, yeah, just in general, I think for Jazel and Dennis, it's definitely an image thing. But in Singapore, I know it was a lot of like work, not work, home, not home, friends, not friends. Like, what was some norms in your relationship that was like the main challenge?
Like gender norms?
Yeah. In terms of both you guys, it could, or just anything you guys, the expectation of work maybe. Like, you're not working enough, you work too much, you should stay at home.
Like right now, because when we met and what's happening right now is very, very different, especially after having a kid. Right now, honestly, I think we're still adjusting. It is still very, very fresh to us. We literally just had this conversation in the car. I was saying that I'm feeling a lot less like Amanda and a lot more mom now. Like my whole mind, my whole body is just dedicated to my child. Like the first thing I wake up, my child, you know, what's next? What's next? Any moment I have for myself, I don't really spend it to enjoy anymore. It's really just to have that moment of calm and peace and just gathering myself and grounding myself so
You see
that
how hard Suyen's nodding?
so that I can move on and when my child wakes up, I'm a good mom again. So that's kind of where I am. So my career has definitely taken a back seat. I don't know whether it's by choice or not. I can't say yet, but it just kind of happens. So we're just...
You get backlash over it? Like people, like when you want to like take it easy, it's fine, right? But then when you choose to work, like do people like, hey, why you up? Why are you not spending time at home? Shouldn't you be at home taking care of the kid?
Yeah, why you at the event? You should be at home with your kids.
Actually, no.
No.
Because I like the person that I was before I had a kid and the person that I am now is actually very, very different.
Right.
I used to go out a lot and now people rarely see me.
True.
So people are like, oh my God, you're out.
Why is that so familiar?
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah.
And then, but I definitely find myself giving myself that guilt. So I don't have it from anyone else. If anything, I have it for myself. It's like if I go out, okay, my time off is, my cutoff time is 3 a.m. because I gotta be home, you know, to sleep enough to wake up for my kid the next day. And if I don't do that, then it feels really horrible the next day. Yeah.
Don, what about you?
I think for me, for the last maybe 2 years, slightly less than 2 years, I think I decided actively to work less. You know, I think I've always been a workaholic as far as I remember. You know, and I have no fear of working, you know, but I think over the last 2 years, like I made it an effort to be at home a lot more. You know, I created my own path in that sense. But I think after 2 years, I think it's enough already. You know, to be very honest, I mean, we talk about gender norms, you know, going all the way back, you know, it's very hunter and gatherer kind of mentality, you know, and I felt like I think I do a pretty decent job being a gatherer. You know, but I feel like if both of us are gatherers, then, you know, there's no one hunting. You know, so I think very, very recently, I would say maybe in the last 1 month, right, or from this podcast, maybe 2 months, you know, I decided that I want to go out to work a lot more because I think that's where my real role is. You know, as much as it's hard because that means I leave my wife and my son alone, you know, more than I would like to. But I mean, it comes to a point where it's necessary.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes to a point where I know that I can't carry on like this for the next 10 years as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for the sake of my family, I have to explore. You know, I have to do what I need to do. And, you know, if it means I can't be at home, you know, I can't watch the progress, you know, it's a sacrifice that I guess has to be made. So I kind of understand the social norm of the absent father now, because right now I feel like I'm the absent father, especially the last couple of weeks. You know, I've been pretty much very absent, you know, but I try to be present. I mean, now it's a lot easier. You got FaceTime, you got, you know, like it's not like back then, you know, like you call once every week, you know. So now that with FaceTime is a lot easier, but still not easy lah. So I think when you talk about gender norms, I think that's that price that you have to pay. I think that's for us as well. The active decision to not be in a very quote unquote stable environment. Our environment is very unstable. Because my work is all over the place, and yet, home is really where the family is. So I think that is the challenge that we are going through now.
I remember we talked about it as well, right? Like an absent dad is a useless dad. Hey, a present dad is a useless dad. The absent dad is useful, right? And
I think we're kind of reestablishing those roles now, because at the beginning, I really wanted him to be present, right? That was what I had really, really hoped for. But when the reality really came, and then both of us really sat down and looked at our situation, we have a better understanding that, okay, he has to stop gathering, in his terms. He has to stop gathering and really start going out to hunt. So I think subconsciously also I took a step back.
Yeah,
because one of us has to be at home.
I enjoy cooking for my son. I change his diapers. I know how to put in everything that Amanda can do. I also can do.
Yeah,
and I think
it's proof.
Yeah, I think that's something that I'm very proud of. But at the same time, I think moving forward, I think we both have to reestablish our roles a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So, I need to feel more like a provider, and inevitably will make her feel more like a mother. But we still try to make it work. I think it comes with a certain sacrifice. I mean, she's still working, she's still going back to Singapore to do work, working here as well. So I think, it's always trying to find that balance. And I think we're very fortunate because we have a better support system. And we still establish that support system where we can trust my in-laws to take care of my child. And I mean, just to see also beyond that, even between my in-laws, they also have their gender roles. The grandmother and the grandfather, their roles are very different. Like the grandfather will take my son to the park.
He's the fun one.
Yeah, he's the fun one. Right. Whereas my grandmother is like the caretaker. We'll put him to bed, we'll cook for him, we'll shower him. Yeah, my grandfather my father-in-law will never shower my son. And
I don't think my father has ever changed a diaper. So I think it's quite amazing to see how the generations have changed. I'm sure none of your fathers actually changed diapers.
I don't have a recollection of that. I don't remember.
Right.
I feel like he tried. He might have tried. I feel like my dad is the kind
but
that
the
he might have
diaper's
tried.
now quite advanced.
Yeah, last time I'm stressed.
I'm just going to say he's really good.
Yeah.
Last time it was cloth and then beans and stuff.
Yeah, I think the one that scared the parents away was the dad's away was the nappies. That was nasty, man. I remember that because I had to change my siblings' nappies.
But I think a lot of this gender norm comes is because the wife does it. The husband doesn't have to do it. Or the wives don't ask the husband to do it. They do not have to do it. So they just don't do it.
That's true. That's true. A lot, I think, from... We went through something similar as well, because I think during lockdown, it was a weird time during lockdown, right? It was a very guilty time for me as well, because I felt guilty in a sense where there were people dying left and right. We lived in a very old neighborhood, so literally every other day there was an ambulance coming in a body bag. Like literally, because a lot of old people just dropping like flies. But it was a very bittersweet time because there was a lot of stress at work. As a provider, it was very stressful. So I get it, right? But it was such an interesting time because it established a time where I could be with the family and the kid growing up. That became a norm. And there's also what, the transition back into like going out there and spending time away actively. It was a very you had to push yourself back into it because now your kid expects you to be around. And then even though Suyen knows I need to go and work, it's like, oh, you're going back to work. I'm like,
and they're very used to having your husband
more
is
support
there.
Around. Yeah.
Yes, I think similarly, our roles were a bit reversed. Like when COVID happened, Haley was 2, so he was home working from home. So we saw him. We had meals every day. We couldn't go out, right? So we were just 3 of us at home every day. And then I think after things started opening up, he's like, he really needs to go out there, meet clients, you need to explore opportunities, you need to be there as a team. Because by then, at that time, his meetings was just all through video call, right?
If only you could stay the same.
Yeah, and it's if you want to lead a team, your team need to see your face in the studio. So that's when we had a talk. It's you need, I told him, you have been home for 2 years, right? Or that period. I said, I really release you to go out and do. I feel that really that you go, but then you don't feel so torn to if I go there, I'm not home. But I feel as a wife, it's you go and do. I got this. I just have to maybe work less, or I just need to have more support at home so that in order for you to do that, something has to change. So then that's when like our roles also reversed. In that sense lah.
Yeah.
So I think like the difference between like traditionally what our parents do and now, so I feel because we have so many options, it makes it harder to decide.
Yeah.
Because you really can choose how much you want to go here and there. Whereas last time it's no choice. You either work and you won't be home or vice versa. But now it makes it harder in that sense to draw where the line, where it's too much or which is too little.
Yeah.
But I feel what helps is when we both play dual roles at different stage of life. So you don't feel guilty. It's like we both fight. We're like, hey, if I earn more money, can I be the one who stay home? Not like, no, you go work, I want to stay at home. So
I've been trying, guys. I've been trying my best.
It's that balance. But I feel like sometimes the spouse also need to hear like,
Yeah.
hey, I really in simple words, I really release you to go and do it without any guilt and without like to know that everything will be good at home so that you can have a peaceful mind when you go out to work and you come back to a peaceful home.
Yeah. From all the episodes we've done together, right? I feel like the very interesting for our generation of guys as a gender norm is tied to value. Are we useful or not? And I feel that it's harder for us because back in our dad's time, it's only about use. It's survival. There's nothing else than survive, right? Because I like recently we did interesting episode. I did one with my dad for another show, and he said that it was really to make sure got food on the table. Now they have set up that foundation where we can have food on the table. It's just what food we want, right? And then it has come to a point where they also train us and gave us a safe space to feel and care a bit more. And then we've had the opportunity to have kids of our own in a space where we were locked at home. And now, I don't know, I feel like our gender norm is like, hey, if we don't go out, we're useless. If we go out too much, why are you not being around with your kids? It's a really heavy thing on guys nowadays, I feel. It's really weird, but you're in some degree, right? Yeah. If we don't go and hunt, technically, we are missing a very big role that should be played. You know, if we don't fulfill a need to pursue stability or a future for the kids, we are not doing a good job. Then people ask, hey, but how much time you spend with your kids? I'm like, you want to turn left and turn right. But I feel that's our gender norm that we've been going through all the episodes we've been doing. Are we useful at home or are we useful outside? And since we put a lot of our life online, apparently we need to be useful at both. You know? Because I remember we did episodes where, I had an opportunity to work with Dennis for 2 years in a row. It's really like, there's no doubt you hunt one row, but when the time comes, it don't mess with my family time. You know? I think that gender role of value is interesting from the guy's point of view as well, because there's an expectation and there's guilt. I don't know if you guys feel this, but it's less of, I feel her being at home so much, I feel very guilty if I go out. Because you don't get to go out.
I think it's more of like, not just go out, but it's like you get to go out and not have to deal with the mess at home.
You get to be you.
Yes, that's my biggest guilt. The fact that I can go out because I need to work. But even if it's under the circumstance of work, you are still at home. So she does wedding makeup, and there's a time we were talking about it. I told her, actually, you can become a content creator and you will just make much more compared to the wedding makeup. Confirm, I can help you, I can push you, I can do all this kind of thing. Then she made a very interesting point. But when I go and do wedding makeup, it's the only time I talk to other adults. I'm like,
the time where I get to be Suyen as Suyen.
yeah.
It's not as like Minghan's wife or like as
And I was like, you know
anybody
what?
else.
You are right. And it's the 1 or 2 days a week that I take on the full mantle of the house husband. And I understand, but I feel that guilt that there's a very strong guilt like, shucks, I go out all the time.
Do you think guys or other guys realize that distinction like when wives are home or like when the other partner is home for a long time? Because if you're not home for a long period with your child, you don't understand actually how it makes you feel mentally, or like sometimes how isolating, or like how much freedom you feel you need. Because you never had to do it.
You have guys friends who like don't stay home?
Yeah.
How is it
Because if I didn't do makeup, you probably wouldn't have understand where I actually
100%.
When I tell you, you don't feel it, you don't know what I mean.
I think the biggest thing is because she has to go out, I understand the overwhelmingness of a small human being that is just chasing after you for hours.
And half a day compared to like 1 week
It's
or
really
2
nothing.
weeks is a huge difference.
It's really nothing. But that's it. Like how, I mean, okay, like on that note, like, do you guys feel these expectations from your parents or from your relatives?
You see, I was actually going to add on to that, whatever you mentioned just now, right? And the question is that I think for myself, it's not so much of the guilt with her. Like her, of course, she's at home and she's taking care. I would try my very best. And she knows that, like, I will get home, even if it's 1-2 hours just with her and baby, and then go out. I would do that. No question asked. But it was more of myself wanting to be there with Jade. You know, I think as for us, because like I mentioned, like I hope the people at home who's listening to this, they will understand, like, yes, we have guilt of going out, but also we would, if we could, we would split ourselves just to be able to spend the time at home with the kid. Yes, it's definitely tiring. I'm telling you, just to watch your kid running around, you get tired. I ask myself, how am I tired? She's the one running. I don't understand, but it happens. It happens. So I feel guilty just not being there with her, but at the same time, both of us have to work, and she works as well. So we just try to make it work. And like what you mentioned, until today, we're still trying to figure out what's the best. And honestly, when things change, time change, everything change. So you change as it goes, wherever the wind blows.
Yeah. When it comes to, since we're talking about going out, was it expectations, or how did you guys go through the whole who's supposed to earn money? Okay, because we all started also a bit different, right? All of us had earning potential when we kind of started seeing each other before marriage, everything. We all were working, right? Was there what was like the first talks about, are you going to stay home? Am I going to stay home? How did it go for you guys? Is it an ongoing thing? No, because there's no answer to this. I feel that even today, it is still a thing where we always check up, like, how's it going? You know, like, is this working for you? Because I think I do check up with Suyen as well. Like, hey, can I be tai now? Like, do you want to work? You know? So my goal is to be the stay-home dad, right? But obviously it's...
His goal too.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do.
I think a very interesting case study is actually when you look at the typical Singapore household today, right? So in Singapore, there are a lot of dual household incomes. So husband work, wife works. So when the wife gets pregnant, of course, everything is in place. You know, maternity leave, you know, blah, 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 blah. And once that is over, your kid is probably 6 months or less, right? What typically happens is the husband continues to go to work every day from 9 to 5 or later, and the wife actually goes to work as well from 9 to 5, which means that your kid as young as
6 months
3,
old.
4, 5, 6 months starts to go to daycare as young as that age. You know, that means they are essentially in daycare all the way until like nursery, kindergarten. That means they really start, like you really spend, maybe you don't have that luxury, and I use the word luxury, you know, to be able to be with your kid, you know, to really monitor and so-called dictate and nurture your kid the way that you want. You know, I think that's why I still feel like, look, at the end of the day, even though it's difficult, I feel privileged enough that my wife and I still have that ability to, you know, because
We have that option.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
like if I want to feed my kid today, I want to make him whatever I want to cook for him, I cook for him. You know, if not, I can't possibly tell the daycare, you know, show me the menu for the entire week. Hey, I don't want this one, you change to this one. You know, you don't have that luxury because you're sending them to a daycare and they are already in that daycare structure. You know, which might or might not work for you. Then you got to pick whether you want something that works for you or you want the convenience. You know, 10 minutes before, I send my kid 10 minutes there and then I can go off to work. So I think there's a lot of things that we need to consider on how lucky we are as well. You know, in our situation, you know, I'm sure there are a lot of people in our situation and a lot of people on the other flip side, but you know, it's a give and take. It's never going to be an ideal.
But I agree with you, the luxury part. I always... we spoke about this, and I always feel very blessed and grateful that we are actually able to spend time with Jade. And she's 3, and we're going to send her to school next year. But 3 years with us every single day with the godmother at home, you know, like I'm able to give her that just 3 years before going into school, just with this small little, and she built such a great bond with this few human beings before setting out there into the world with friends and everything. And I think she's really set up for that. So I'm very glad to be able to give that foundation to her.
And it's going to
Yeah,
come in a time where our kids will look at their teachers and their friends and their girlfriends and boyfriends as the number one person in their life.
Yeah.
So we only have so many years to be that number one person. So I just...
Now mommy is number one. This mommy is number one.
I told him that I will be the number one woman in my son's life.
Forever.
As you should. And I have friends who at events when I see them, so they're asking me like, oh, is Jade in school already? I say not yet. And then they tell me like, oh, isn't it too late? Like you should be sending earlier. I said no, because we want to spend more time with her. We want to create that relationship before sending her out to the world.
And who's to say that they get more educated in school than they do at home?
They have 15 years of their life to be in school.
And their whole life ahead of them. But for me, it's also because we have the privilege.
The ability
Yes.
to do
The
it.
ability
Correct.
to, okay, I want my daughter to be at home. You know, like those parents who are working out there, I feel bad for my friends because before giving birth, having a child, I was like, oh, my friend have to work or like that. But after having a child, I feel bad for my friend that he only gets to see his child when the child is asleep. I actually feel bad. Like, oh,
Yeah.
damn, you only see your child on Saturdays and Sundays because the first 5 days, even if you try to rush home as early as possible, 8, 9 o'clock. Sometimes your child 8 o'clock sleep already.
And then jam, subang.
So I mean, as fathers also, I can understand why some fathers, they become very tired or very exhausted because when you go back home, you don't see your child. And then you leave to work. And then it just becomes that whole entire emptiness of just working and working, providing. You start questioning yourself. Am I just a provider, just milking money out? I don't even get to see my child. And when they want to slow down and see their child,
They're grown up.
they're grown up or they cannot afford to do so because they have to put money on the table. So it's I feel that's why I said like we are always very blessed and privileged, like regardless of whatever situation we're in, like to be able to still do it the way we are.
Yeah.
It's really like a blessing.
So all I'm hearing is everyone out there, leave your 9 to 5 and become content creator.
No,
I
don't
didn't
do
say
that.
that. I didn't say that. But since on that note, right, since I think our circumstances are very interesting, it's very different compared to a 9 to 5 as well. So I do acknowledge the fact that we are very, I think we come from a, all right lah, I'm going to own it. Sorry, we're not privileged, guys. We took a risk. We took a risk not to do a 9 to 5 and today it's
Pays
working
off,
out.
yeah.
That's
It's actually harder than a 9 to 5.
correct.
And I just want to say,
I'm done playing the victim. We're not the
Now
victim.
that you say that, you spark a fire in me. That's true. The risk.
so you think
Yeah.
about it, right? If you work 9 to 5, you know that you get a paycheck at the end
Yeah.
of the month.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
Yeah.
maybe some days you work OT,
And your
but
bonus.
your timing is set.
Yeah.
There are days that I don't work. I don't work for 2 days. I just sit at home and I shake my leg because I want to. But other days I'm working 18 hours. I'm working 20 hours.
Correct.
You know, no one talks about the travel time. No one talks about you know the expenses that you got to pay to work. You got to pay to make money.
Correct.
You know, it's a whole different aspect. You know, there's a lot of risk involved as well because one day all of this could be taken away from you.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah. So I
Correct.
think at the end of the day, it's what you choose, your own career path.
Yeah.
But I think this generation, you know, the guys that are younger than us as well, I think they're starting to value that as well. You know, they're starting to value their own time. And I think for us, you know, now that we have kids, we also learn that, look, you know, maybe if got 10 jobs, I just take 5 can already.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned to be happy just being satisfied and contented doing the 5.
Yeah.
Because the 5 brings me joy. It brings me enough income to take care of my family, you know, and the other 5, I'm willing to give it up so that I can spend time with my child.
I'm just putting that because Confirm got some comments like, hey, y'all don't understand lah. You know you go 9 to 5. Hey.
I've done 9 to 5 before.
We done 5 to 5, 9 to 9, 9 to 9 to 5 the next day. Okay.
24-48. You know,
Correct.
24-48 or not?
What's the longest set you've been on? Don't even talk. This brother got 3 days without sleep before. Okay, so putting it there. Actually, we're very nice people as well. So don't worry, 9 to 5. But on that note, because we've all assembled that lifestyle differently, right? We're coming back to the whole topic of like, hey, you're the guy, you should do this. You're the girl, you should do this. Obviously, we don't talk to each other like that. Hey, you're the girl, you should do this. No. It's how did y'all actually
How dare
start?
you?
Yeah. Was there a very natural flow into building a home together? And then you naturally gravitated towards some things? Or was there like, hey, can you take care of this, but I'll take care of this? Was it more of the spreadsheet or more of like winging it?
I think it's a constant negotiation.
Okay, how does it happen? So you all moved in
I
together.
explain,
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay, so Amanda and I I don't like to shower my son. I'm just going to say I don't like showering.
I was
Oh,
a bit
today
scared
I
you were going to
learned.
say.
I didn't know this.
Okay.
So so Amanda does it most of the time, right? But Amanda doesn't cook for my son. But I love to cook for my son, so I cook for him. Right, so I handle breakfast. Right, and then with my son, he has 2 morning shifts, one at 5 a.m. And if we're lucky, he sleeps until 8:30 or 9, which allows us to sleep till like a normal human being's sleeping hours.
Okay.
So we try to take 1 each. So if she takes 5, then I would try to take the 8:30.
Do you all like stay out like, hey, I did this shift. Understood.
We use our body
Yeah,
language.
body language.
There you go.
Because sometimes, okay, you must understand that sometimes at 5, right, it's too overwhelming for one person. Yeah, so then I try to do it as well. But there are days when she's overseas and I'm taking care of him, then no choice. I have to take both shifts. Right? So if I'm traveling and then she has to take both shifts, so when I come back, I try to overcompensate. At least for the first couple of days.
I like the overcompensating part. I really like it. Like he has something to prove, you know?
Yes,
I found the biggest difference was when it was for Hayley, it was easier to do the night shifts. Because we were all locked down, COVID, Hayley was exposed to us equally. But something more recent with Sarah, because I'm not around as much, the sad part about that is she only wants her mom. So she's only comforted by Suyen. And the biggest difference I felt was that for Sarah, it's so much easier if Suyen puts her to sleep or calms her down compared to me. If she sees me, it means it's playtime at 8
But
p.m.
it's on the vice. Like on the other side, I told him, but if you don't spend more time with her, she will never want more of you. So it's like, you go put her to sleep because it takes faster for her to nap. Say, but if you don't spend more time with her, then she will just always look for the one that is more present. So I told him that's why I sometimes, the arrangement now that I work on one day outside, then you are put in a situation where you just have to do it.
No one else to find. It's just Papa at home. Hello, girls, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think on our end, when we were building a home together, we never stayed together before we got married. So it was a very traditional process for us. It was very interesting to see that mix of who does what better.
Oh, when we first moved in, I think it was when we started realizing a lot of things like, one person put toilet seat up, one person put toilet seat down. Who closed the toilet door? Who used what detergent? Because it's like what he grew up, like he stayed with his family until we got married. So it's like what his family used is what he used, right? So it's like all the habits came out very at the start when we lived together. Then it's very apparent because it's only 2 of us in the house. Then I think one day they were just like, hey, I keep on closing the door, you keep on opening the door. Let's talk about this, do you want to keep the door open? Does it mean anything to you?
Oh, that's very nice of the way that you say it. You say it very nice. She's very nice about it.
She actually said it.
But I mean, there are some things like these are stuff
How
really
often
to
do you
me it
have a knife
doesn't
in your
matter.
It's more like a choke in the middle of the night. She's like, you can't move now, can you?
The only thing that I there was no compromise about it was before we got married. So I'll see his room, right? However you look, you take after your room, I can kind of picture what the house would be also. I told him, what detergent you use, you want to keep the toilet seat up. To me, this one I can compromise, no problem. The only thing I cannot compromise is if your laundry is not in the laundry basket. If it's next to the laundry basket, hanging over the laundry and not inside. So I told him.
So I used to have the belief that it's in the vicinity. It's dirty.
I think it's a guy. It's a guy thing.
So I explained to you, guys, we have one laundry basket, okay?
Yes.
The ones inside the laundry is machine wash. Alright, the ones that are hanging over, those are the slightly more expensive clothes that you may want to hand wash.
Real or not?
Yeah, then the ones that you leave outside the laundry basket, maybe potentially for dry cleaning.
This one confirm no.
Confirm the one for me because I don't have any fancy clothes.
What?
Mine all the
Uniqlo,
same.
H&M, all same.
I tried to help you, Minghan. I really tried.
I know, thanks man. I really appreciate it.
Trying to have your back.
The minute you say this one maybe can they send dry cleaning, gone. Suyen knows I have no clothes that need that at all.
But I hear all ladies say it's like that. Like
No, but it's true
majority of
though.
the
Yeah,
time.
Boys become men, right, when they live with a woman. That's
So
true.
I told him, I said, this
That's
is something
true.
I feel is a habit. Like it's not I like, I prefer, or I think a person should do that. If you go to someone's house, you put your clothes not inside, I feel very rude.
You got any sisters? You got any sisters?
A younger sister, yeah.
Younger sister, right?
Younger sister
You
too.
or younger sister?
Yep. But she's way messier than me, so I don't understand. Yeah,
Got
she
two
is-
older boys lah.
Like technically, I'm the cleanest in the house. And
But he put his clothes all in a laundry basket.
Oh, now
already.
it's fine. I only have 2 shirts, so I
Yeah,
can keep
really?
an eye
This
on both.
guy, 2 shirts.
So one thing that really changed is spending habits. Like I think for me, moving in, I became less of the spender and more of the provider 100%. So these kind of things like cleaning up and everything was quite natural because also back when we started, I never really spent a lot of time at home. So I don't have a desk. I don't have, I think the whole bedroom is set up without a desk. There's no TV in the bedroom. It's just bed, cupboard, floor, shelf, sleep, you know? So like, also a very good way to avoid myself making any mess lah. So I got no mess to make because I got nothing to make a mess at home, minus my corner. But okay, going back to the roles, I feel like when we moved in together, the hygiene thing was first. It was definitely who cleans what or who keeps this thing clean. Because obviously she doesn't make a mess. I do. It was also, but I have to say, I'll protect myself. I'm the one with the allergies. I'm the one with dust allergies. I got sensitive skin. So right, our hygiene roles in the house became very nuanced and very niche because if it's anything to do with food, I'm very sensitive. So I do the dishes the most. I love doing dishes. I just want to put it there. I wash a lot. I have a system of how to wash things. The kitchen is mine, but the minute someone touches it, I let go.
Wow.
Like I don't know, is it just me?
It's a
So
very
I did
automatic thing.
So something was very interesting. Like even through all this orderly stuff, right? I don't know for you, but for guys, right? That I used to have a certain way I fold my clothes and arrange my clothes. But when we started living together, she did it her way, and I just stopped. And we had to talk about this because like she asked me, "Why don't you organize your clothes?" I'm like, "Because you do it," and she's like, "But doesn't mean you don't do it."
Because you don't do it, so I do it.
Yeah, but it was also because I realized that when she started doing it, I didn't know what to do with that system and I didn't want to mess it up.
You adapt.
Yeah, my adaptation was I follow exactly what you do with my clothes.
So I tell him,
Yeah.
why don't you? So I think this is a very unspoken thing. I think within like relationship as well, because you don't say it, and then I just assume you don't want to do it, but actually is because I did it away and he don't
Yes.
like it, but he just follows.
Yeah.
So then like, okay, let's just hit on the pause button because no one's winning here. I said, tell me how you want to do it. I will help you do it so that you can continue doing the way
But
you
Suyen,
want to do it.
sometimes men, we don't have a better solution. Sometimes
Touché.
we just want to do the lazier method. Right?
Follow?
So let me tell you something about Amanda.
Oh!
Amanda, why is
Here we
everyone
go.
giving me that?
Go ahead, I wanna know.
It's a good thing. Okay.
It's how you segue into it. How you line it up.
Amanda has 3 things that she loves to do. Okay, she loves fashion, right? She loves shopping, right? And her cleaning, right? I'm telling you, is impeccable. Our dry kitchen, not a wet kitchen, our dry kitchen in our house has 4 cloths. Each cloth is color coded, and each cloth is for a specific purpose. And each time our baby eats, the cloth is activated. One cloth is specifically to wipe his mouth. One cloth is specifically to wipe his tray. One cloth is specifically to wipe the floor in case the food flies onto the floor.
Feel you!
Right? And there's one more cloth that is used to wipe on the main table. So the main table and the baby tray is 2 separate cloths.
I relate to this so much.
And that's just
He's like, my friend,
that's
my
just
friend.
one
What?
aspect of the house.
If I could, I would buy cloth for each different furniture item.
Oh, I kind of do.
I can't.
I kind of do.
I can't. No, I
For
can't.
wooden surfaces, there is another cloth.
It's important.
Yeah. For kitchen surfaces, there is another cloth.
Toilet,
important.
of course, toilet you have to have
Because
another
why
cloth.
would you put the kitchen cloth in the toilet?
Exactly.
Why would you put the cloth on the floor, on the table?
Okay, you all live together. Yeah, it took a very long time for me to adapt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so I think for Jazel and myself, right, in that sense, right, when listening to both of you talk, I don't know, this is just my take on this. I feel that we kind of like go through this as like partners. It's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
And it's very different for us because I moved in with your family.
yeah, at first she moved in with my family when we were dating because
Correct.
she was from Malacca, right?
Girls.
So then eventually she has a good relationship with my mom.
Correct.
You know, she knows a little bit more about my dad than I do. His history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Oh, wow.
So she was in the car with my dad on the way back to Malacca, and apparently she shared some stories of what my dad shared with her, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Never knew that.
I didn't know that.
thanks for sharing. but it was great. I was very happy to know that, like, wow, that's actually very cute.
That's success.
So she had a very good relationship with my family.
And I got to learn a lot of things from his mom, the way she does things for Dennis. So at least I know. Yeah, I can prepare myself after we moved out on our own.
Yeah, so I actually I made a decision like, okay, let's move out together for a few years before we actually get married or decide to have a kid. So we moved out and then we stayed together, and that's where everything started. Okay, at first she'll start sweeping, we'll sweep together because at that time it's just two of us. We'll sweep together, mop the floor, everything. And then when vacuum came in play,
hey,
what's up? When the vacuum came in play, it was a game changer. And just yesterday, I was like, wow, the attachment on the vacuum is this is, I'm just sharing on it. Okay, it sounds like a segue into an ad stuff.
It's really not.
But the attachment do so much difference because what happened was she dropped a whole entire plant in the kitchen.
Oh, no.
A whole plant just dropped in the kitchen. Then I was like, then she wanted to take the mop and everything come out. I quickly just walked out, took the vacuum and that short attachment, vacuum everything out as much as possible. But there was some that still left on the floor. Then I remember watching Ed. They run the whole entire vacuum on the floor and all the small little things came up because she was preparing to mop the whole thing. I vacuumed it up, then clear already. Then after that, she went through with the mop and everything, and we sort of like balance each other out, I would say.
Yeah, just find whatever works better than just
correct.
do
And it's been like that since when we were staying together.
Yeah, we never really talk about it. It just
like you say, it's like the body language.
Yeah, correct.
It's the body language.
How do you feel like you started like evolving a bit more of like whatever their person, like maybe he liked something better, then eventually you just adopted that habit, part of like your housing cleaning or like.
I think what I realized is every time when it comes to laundry, because he's so used to his mom keeping his clothes for him. So I think in our house,
I never knew that about Dennis Yin.
yeah, it's very sweet. It's very sweet. So I felt like, I need to take his mom's role. But there are times where, of course, I feel like, maybe I'm a bit too lazy to do it. So he'll do it lah. It just depends. He will still do it.
Was it something you expected her to do?
No. It's more like what you said. Because what happened now is when we wash our clothes, right? When it's folded, everything, I'll take it and put it into my drawers and stuff. She roughly know where I put my things, but I put it a certain way. And she knows when I pack my bags, I put my clothes and I fold my clothes a certain way so everything fits very, very perfectly.
Yeah.
So my clothes are now folded differently.
I hate what
you know what I do? I take the whole entire set, put everything in front of me, and fold everything my way.
I very paiseh to do that. For the first few years when she started doing it, right, I didn't want to do that because it kind of felt like you're doing it wrong. I didn't want to tell her that, hey, I don't like the way you're doing it. So I just lived with it lah. Because very recently, I don't know. Okay, hear me out. Okay, because I am the target for all this content online now because they know we make this show, right? I heard something the other day was really interesting, and this applies to the relationship between guys and girls, and then moms and dads. It comes to the first instance where you have your kid, and the first time the dad picks up the nappy. Most moms will go, hey, don't do it like that. And they don't realize that that is the turning point for the competence of all dads for their kids. Because no one told anyone how to do things. It's just who lit the first fuse for, hey, don't do it like that. I feel as guys, right? Because I don't know about you, I really respect the home as your castle. You know what I mean? Because it's the place that you build a home. I will not challenge your don't do this. But in reverse, it makes me very incompetent because I don't know what to do.
Don't want to make it do wrong lah.
Because you told me don't do it this way. I don't know what to do. It becomes a situation for a lot of guys, right, where we are only told not to do this.
You lose your instinct.
Yes, you lose your motivation and the initiative because a lot of dads are told like, hey, don't fall like that, it's wrong. Don't do the milk like this, it's wrong. Hey, you don't have to hold the kid, give me lah. That's why my dad, right, was even afraid to pick up our kid. And I think my dad didn't hold our baby until she was like 1+ like that because he has just been told like, hey, you don't know how to hold baby. No, so this was something I picked up very, very, it's like weaponized incompetence.
I don't think it's so much weaponized incompetence. So I don't think it's the fact that we are intentionally...
Yeah, it's not intentional.
We're intentionally trying to be incompetent and weaponizing it. I think for at least how I feel, after a while, it's like, I'd rather wait for instructions and do it right the first time than go with what I think is correct, which
have that.
is subjective in that sense, right?
Yes.
And get it so-called quote-unquote wrong.
Yes.
And then having to redo everything. Yeah, so I'd rather just wait for instructions.
It's so interesting because I feel from the women's point of view, then it's like, if you're going to do it wrong, then I might as well do it, then I do it faster. Then like it kind of fits in, like then the more you don't want to do, and then like I end up doing more, and then I like, why am I doing more and you're not doing anything?
Yeah. And it's like not that I'm lazy, because one thing that was a bridge for us was laundry. Because my dad, okay, I just give a small background. I can't get into the background. My dad was trained by like a tailor. His uncle was a tailor. So my dad can fold clothes like a machine.
His
like
ironing
press,
is like Uniqlo level.
Yeah, so I don't know how he does it, but he trained us as kids to do it. And then suddenly on the flip side, when I get married, I have no control over my laundry because she wants to do it her way. The first cupboard we had, right, she hangs everything. Everything has a hanger. And my system just like short circuit because I used to fold my shirts.
Yeah, he used to fold all
Really?
his
It's like, where's my cupboard and shelves? It's all hanging. Like, why is my t-shirt being hanged? You know, like she could hang my socks also if she could, right? Yeah. And it was that conversation that we missed and that really stood out so much to me about that thing where it's not because guys are lazy. It's not because guys don't want to do it. It's because a lot of us work on structure and I don't want to fight you. I would rather just follow something you put in place because the gender norms, right? This is like the instinctual gender norm. You are better at the house things. I will follow your house things. And then it slowly becomes, wow, there's no negotiation for house things.
Do you feel like, as guys, like if you were to say like, hey, actually I prefer it like that, would you feel like then it would rub me off the wrong way?
Yeah, it took me like, what, 5 years to tell you this for the first
time? Yeah,
well,
he told me like, why you just don't tell me?
Yeah. Why you didn't tell me this?
It's not so easy.
But then again, don't you think like you should sit down and say like, ask? Because I will
the
prefer.
way they say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
It's everything. You're all right.
It's the tone.
You're right. Because
Correct.
the thing is, there's no good time to say this. There's no good time to say, dear, actually, you fold my clothes very wrong.
Oh!
See, it's the way you say it.
So there's no good time. So
There's no right way to say it as well.
You can be like,
The
hey,
soup you cook, not very nice.
That one different. That one different.
Right.
Okay, darling, you have packed my cotton differently.
Yeah.
Would that
is
be
there
nicer?
another way we
There
could
is no right way for a guy to
is
communicate it to a woman.
Is there another way we
Impossible.
could cook the soup? Is there another way we could fold this?
Sis, you catch on the bad day. Why this way not good?
Then you do
We lost already. Lost already.
But you see, this is the fear that holds a lot of guys back. Because I think there's no safe space to talk about this. And it's established and it gets cemented in when the kid arrives. Because then there's someone who is, and you see, guys, again, it's like blueprint, right? Someone is lead. You are lead of the kid. We establish that, we go forward. But the interesting and what opened up the relationship to that conversation was during COVID, I was also a 50-50 with Haley.
You got equity.
We got equity, yes. We had stock options at this point, right? And we had say because
Contributed.
you were contributing.
it.
And it was contributing to the point that, hey, actually, there's 2 ways to change the diaper.
Actually, I'm better. Sometimes.
Yeah. No, there were some things that happened because like I put Haley to sleep a lot faster for some reason. And it's because of things like I'm also a bit stronger, that I can hold her a different way that what like Suyen couldn't hold, and Haley preferred that way. And it was just things that, hey, actually, if you don't start it off with telling someone don't do it that way, you say like, how are you doing it? Because there's 2 ways to bathe a kid. She bathed them one way, I bathed them like I'm washing a car. And it's fine. They're both clean, right? So yeah, it's like,
Balcony.
yeah. If I could, I say, hey, balcony now. Yeah. They love it. It's a playtime. Yeah.
Try.
Okay.
Balcony
It
just
works.
Go out to the watch.
I share with you the host.
Yeah, maybe you should do that.
Yeah, because I make it like a theme park. And then she like, yeah. So
That's a good tip. That's a good tip.
It is,
Thanks,
right?
guys.
Yo, you got a garden some more. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you got garden means got mud. So I don't think it's gonna be a rough time. All right. But
They
the
will
thing,
have 4 cloths outside.
oh my
He will
god.
be wearing a sock. He will be wearing a socks to shower outside.
That's the wrong answer. There's no cloth for the mud outside. But yes. But the thing that I think was very interesting with that is the gender role that remains with us, that is passed down, I think can just be overcome with communication internally as couples. Like that first thing about like, I mean, of course, there's acceptance. I accept the fact that she has accepted that my clothes are going to be looked like this, you know? She knows that my underwear sometimes will pop up and surprise you at a different place. Because I will forget. In the morning, bro, I cannot remember where I put my underwear. It's just sleep. Okay, oh, fresh. Where's my old one? I don't know. just like that.
Wow,
you know?
your room must be very big.
Okay. Yeah. So I just accepted the fact. But also I accepted funny things like the dishes, right? I think this is where guys are more less confrontation. I can also just substantiate it. I'm very particular about like dishes, for example. And I have very specific like, oh, I like the drying right like this. I've also realized that I'm not confrontational with my wife when it comes to like doing something wrong at home, because it's simple things like why you put the dishes on the bowl drying area and the cup, and then there's a frying pan in the cups area.
Yeah.
And then like I'll just quietly go and rearrange everything and then I'll go out. And I'll continually doing that. And then I think one day she caught me like, hey, why are you doing this? Then I'm like, because then it dries properly and, you know, it's no stains, no germs. Why you don't tell me to do this?
Yeah, so I told him like, these are conversations that I feel, then only I realized a lot of things that he don't say he do. But it's actually, if he tell me, I would have just like, oh, okay, I didn't know, tell me. But to him, he felt like if he were to do it or tell me, that means I'm doing it wrong. And he don't want me to make me feel like,
guys are very AB eh?
yeah.
Guys,
Side A, side B.
I think that, right, what's happening here is that they have a very different dynamic from us as a couple.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Don't just say it.
But no, I have never in my life thought my wife does anything wrong. My wife is always right.
It's a safe space for
It's a safe
all.
space.
It's very
Yes.
safe.
We have
isn't it,
lawyers at the
Jazel?
side at the
Can
end.
you zoom into Jazel's eyes and Amanda's eyes
You
right
can
now?
trauma dump right now.
But no, okay, coming back to this, yes. The intrinsic gender roles we've been growing up with, is that also if you think about it, right, I'm like this because no matter how fierce my dad was, and my dad had temper problems last time. This is why I'm like this. My dad had temper problems. He could hold my brother and I like kebab, right? And shish, like just like that. No matter how fierce he was, right? I never saw him disagree with my mom. And maybe that just like that. Because my mom's word is law in the house. My grandma's word is the 10 Commandments, basically. So there was a certain matriarchy in my grandma ran the show. And that's why I realized like, oh, maybe that's why I never said anything.
Yeah, we
towards
trace back.
Yeah.
We
I do agree,
trace
yeah.
a lot. Like a lot of things
I do
he
agree.
subconsciously did. And then through observing, I said, hey, where is this coming from? Why you feel so scared to say? Then we really trace back. Then that's when I feel then we came to a point where it's okay to say. But then I know where it came from.
John, you want to share something?
My theory is this. Okay. My theory is I would choose peace over being right in my household. I would choose peace over being right. Sometimes, like I ask myself, okay, my clothes are folded this way versus my clothes are folded this way. Does it really make a difference? No.
No.
But if I if I tell my wife that she's quote unquote wrong and I prefer it this way, then it might disrupt the sanctity of the peace within the house.
Factual.
Right. For all you know, tonight I might have a no war zone tonight. Yeah, you know, I can sleep well tonight. You know, my wife might even get me dessert. You know, like
Hey, I want some of the
Why
cake
not?
tonight. I ain't gonna risk that cake because I don't
And
like how my clothes are
sometimes
folded.
if your partner is in a very good mood, right?
I see.
She might or might not be receptive to it.
Yeah.
But sometimes if she's in a good mood and you think that she's receptive to it,
You're wrong.
and then you give her the comment, and then the whole entire mood gets destroyed.
It's your
and
fault.
It's your fault.
It's
like,
your fault.
I already had peace. Peace was already attained today within this 24-hour period. In this sleep cycle, peace has been attained. And I screwed it up for myself because I had to open my big mouth.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that sometimes it's just better to just not say anything and live with it.
You're
I mean,
right.
I ask myself, can I live with it or not? Yeah, I think that's the question that I ask, especially now with a kid. You know, like if I do things a certain way and my wife makes a comment about it, now my natural instinct is no longer to fight with her. You can ask Amanda. My natural instincts, okay, I will change, I'm sorry.
You pick the battles to fight, so you win the war at the end of the day.
Correct. I'd rather fight battles with people outside my household than fight battles. Yeah, like look, it's not just my own household. You know, then when you talk about the friends and the in-laws and other family members, like I need to fight those people also. So I'd rather keep my army within my own household.
It's a war.
Okay.
No, but it's true.
Right,
okay, sometimes your parents might tell you how to parent your kid.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. And then say your parents tell Suyen how to parent your kid.
Oh.
Right? Then who do you stand up for? Do you stand up for your wife or your parents? But sometimes it's also difficult to find that balance. Because deep down inside, it's like, this is what my parents have conditioned me. Right? And then my mother might play that card. But this is how I brought you up.
You like this, man. You're alive today because of me. Okay, my mother has never said that to me. I just want to put it there. Sorry, mom, you might be watching.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, sometimes you really, if like these external factors are not present, then just compromise. That's what I learned. Marriage and having kids is all about compromise. You don't need to win. And I'm very happy not winning.
Yeah.
I'm very happy going to bed, sleeping at night, waking up with a smile on my face. Oh, my son is up. Let me go and say good morning to him. You know, that's a great day to me.
Hey, if I can sleep a loser but still get a cake, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Dessert is more important.
Dessert is the most important. Right, Dennis?
But I agree, compromise. I think for both of us, we never really set the gender norms or the gender roles and stuff like that because we always see each other as equals. And we spoke about this since when we started dating. Like, I don't like both of us don't want our partners behind. We want our partners next to us because that's how we feel. So, and we're very similar in a sense. If she's messy, I'm actually also messy. But we pick up each other. She'll remind me, oh, you forgot to close the door. Then I'll tell her, oh, your hair dropped on the floor.
We tolerate each other.
Yeah, then I'll vacuum it for her because she has sensitive nose. Then she has sinus. And I know that she cannot have dust all around her, but she's always busy, right, doing her stuff. So I'm like, okay, since I'm here, I just vacuum it up for her.
Hey, Dyson, how about out?
So we actually, I would say, complement each other in a sense. But of course, there are disagreements and stuff, and then we'll sort things out and compromise. That's why I said the keyword right there is compromise.
Okay.
And be smart.
So, right, we talked about a lot of cleaning and, you know, this, that, and then we went through the whole thing about who's going to do what first. I'm going to just take a moment here because this is a very real story for guys. Like, ladies, if you want to trick your guys into cleaning the house and taking that role, right? Buy a Dyson. I'm not going to put it there. Like, get a Dyson. You know why? Here was when I knew it was working a bit too well. Dyson...
A bit too well.
A bit too well. It was working a bit too well. When Dyson released this one where they had this laser thing at the end.
Or the green laser.
Oh, the green laser.
Game changer.
That one is my saving grace. That one.
Game changer.
Like, I was vacuuming for no reason. But because it looked like a game. And it was like, oh my gosh, I can vacuum in the dark. And if I vacuum in the dark, it's more cool because I can see more things. Something triggered that. At last time when you turn off the light, then you play torchlight on, right? In my head. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Something's happening to me. I'm cleaning the house
Every
a lot.
morning.
Yeah, you can see because I usually wake up the second
laptop,
I can hear and then when the latest one came out, which was the wet mop, the G1, I was so impressed with the technology and it helped my nose so much. I told Suyen, within the 1 week that we got the G1, I mopped the house more times than we've ever mopped it in that whole year. So it's all about the gadget. I don't know about you guys, I agree, but it's about the gadget. If it's fun, the guy does it, no questions asked, and it feels cool, eh? Like, I don't know, maybe just my thing.
Cool.
Yes, of course the price point painful lah. I'm not gonna lie to some
because
degree.
do you feel cool because like instead of taking like the mop and the bucket and stuff,
Oh,
then you're
also
like,
that.
wow.
I think it's not just taking the bucket, it's more of squeezing the...
Yeah. So
We don't know how to squeeze it properly.
like, I think then it comes with the competence again, right? Because these things are set up so well that it's just click, click.
It's a no-brainer.
It's
so much efficiency. I think Dyson equates to efficiency.
Yeah, and guys, it's all about the tech. It's for me lah. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys want to trick people, guys, you know, listening out.
You guys don't have pets, right?
No.
You know the
kids.
laser
The
laser vacuum.
laser is even more fun
If you
when
have
you have
pets,
dogs.
amazing.
Oh,
You
then
can see
all
all
the
the
dog
fur.
hairs, right?
Every strain.
Hey, knowledge is power because you can see the air flows in your house, and then like why it's always around that area, right? And then what you do, you buy purifier and put it there. Oh, sinus. Dyson,
So
hook
smart.
girl up. But I just want to segue into that because today's episode brought to you by Dyson. I think this comes to the value of buying things, the price versus like expensive versus cheap things and why you do it. I think for me, that whole decision of like, okay, does someone make the calls for buying things in the house? Or it's more of like, I want to buy, I buy this, you want to buy, you buy that. Is it
Or like home appliances?
yeah, like home stuff? Is it a agreed upon thing? Or like I'm open to being surprised when I walk through the door at the end of the day.
Usually when my boss says, dear, we need,
What do you need?
which one we getting?
I see.
Then after that, we'll go through a list. She will show the recommendation. And I said, dear, which one you want?
Oh, yo.
Oh, it's not about
Then
why-
after that, I see the price.
It's not.
Then I'll be like, can we go for the second lower one?
Yeah, actually, I realized, right, for birthdays now, I rather home appliances. Yes.
Practical gifts.
Correct.
Gone are the days, one new wallet lah, new clothes. Buy me a toaster. Buy me
Something that we need at home.
Because I think we are much more at home and things happen more for us at home. That
Use
we
it more. Use
correct,
it more.
correct. We're more like, okay, I need to be at home in all this kind of stuff. Like going out is maybe 2 hours, 3 hours only, but at home is probably like 7, 8 hours.
It's true. I don't see Dennis spend money. He don't even buy food for himself. I made a point whenever we come Daman, I must feed him one full plate. Because there was a time he still stopped eating. Sorry, this is another topic altogether.
Diet.
Oh yeah. So I'm guessing like Dennis has told stories where he just come back at Shopee. It's just packages. So I'm guessing the one who does most of the shopping or the purchasing in the house is
I mean, I enjoy shopping. So if it's adding value to our home, why not? Yeah.
cheap things. Discount over is price point the biggest factor or quality the biggest factor?
Depends.
Yes.
Depends on
Depends.
the things that you are buying, because I think we have learned over the course of many years being together that certain things we buy when they're cheap, right? You end up replacing it every 2-3 months.
Hey.
Yes, correct,
Right?
correct.
So there was once we bought a small little robot wanting to make clean and all that kind of stuff. After like 6 months or 1 year or a while, it stopped working. Like it's supposed to be cleaning, but it's not cleaning. So then
Yep.
we're back using the vacuum again. And
Right.
and going back to what you're mentioning about the laser, really,
Hey.
I tell you, I thank God for that. I vacuum the stairs all the time, side to side,
right?
because there's so
Once
much
you
dust.
see, you cannot not
Once you
vacuum.
start vacuuming, then you see dust, and
Dust
especially if
bunny.
you
And
turn
you
off all
just
the lights.
follow the lights wherever it goes.
You just turn off the lights, and then you see all the dust. Oh, then there's something creeping new. You're like, oh, my daughter is gonna be stepping on this, rolling on this. Okay, I have to vacuum all the way.
Especially if you have dogs, it's even worse.
Oh yeah,
we
if your pets
so-
will be like
yeah,
even more.
Any of you
Corners
like
in the crevices,
you guys have
you need to-
sinus?
I do, but I think I've adapted to it. My father has really bad sinus. So when he comes over, he just gets really, really bad. So I have like air purifiers everywhere at every corner in my house.
All the dogs just
Yeah.
outside. No. They're in their
They're in the house.
indoor
They're in the
dogs,
house.
right? Yeah.
And they're furry. They have long hair.
Just to do justice for Dyson, the laser one is on the newer models, the slim fluffy, the fluffy, life-changing. Also, those models are lighter. So, I mean, for guys, just shout out, if you guys want the real deal, is the V11 series. Oh,
It's the
V11.
heaviest, but the suction power is the strongest.
We were talking about this, also price point, right?
Yeah.
This brand has taught me like why you buy things at a certain price gap. Because I think we all grew up looking for deals, first and foremost. She's had competitor vacuum cleaners sponsor her while I get Dyson. And I've used both of them. And what stands true is my first V11 is still working until today. It's still extremely strong and Dyson offers servicing. The V11 quality, I think in terms of that, when you start to have a family and different, right? What really stood out to me, we were talking about it just now a bit, was when I broke glass and then you can't see the glass, right? Last time, right, the parents sweep first one time, sweep a second time, and then cloth, and then you check. But let's be real, how you will miss a few things. And I don't want to take a risk now because I got 2 little feet scampering around. And worse still, Sarah is an eater. So she finds something on the floor, it's in the mouth. She has absolutely no fear of whatever is on the floor. Coffee bean, rice.
Oh,
I've
man.
seen everything lah. You know.
Oh, man.
So why I became very convinced with this whole thing was that when the first time I broke a glass and I used the V11, so there's a mode where you can click it up to like the max,
Turbo.
right? I can literally see the chunks of glass being removed and like vacuum into the thing. It was partitioned in a way where it doesn't destroy the vacuum and then you just get rid of it. Seamless. No cuts, you don't have to touch the glass. And I did the whole, okay lah, if anyone going to cut, I rather get cut. I barefoot, I walk the whole kitchen like this, not like this, like this.
Oh my God, you really want to cut yourself?
Really? No, I rather me than my kids because I don't know, that's just me lah. I did it and like, really?
Have you all seen the Dyson license vacuum to Toys R Us? Then they got the kid version or something.
Oh, yes.
Very good present.
I up you guys a one. The slim one, Haley can use and she's 5. It's light enough.
Right,
so you start them young. Start them young.
Start them
She
young.
loves it because she sees her using it and like,
All right, talking about the slim one, this is just to share with anyone out there who wants to buy one. So I actually got that for my parents.
oh,
Because my mom said she wants something like, because the old vacuum cleaner
Yeah, yeah,
Rosari,
yeah.
which is the one that you plug into the wall, right? So I said, I get you a new Dyson. She said, give me a light one. So we got that, but apparently it is actually for my mom, it's not powerful enough.
yeah. So that's the daily.
that's the
right?
thing. Like you say, if you want a cheaper price range one, you will have to substitute certain things.
Yeah.
Depends on your usage.
Correct.
Depends on your usage.
So it depends on who is using it and I guess the size of your house, like how much power you actually need. Because to be honest, the helper cleans the house now, right? I wouldn't buy a Dyson for my helper because of the risk of her spoiling
using
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would buy it for myself though because it makes cleaning so much easier if I were doing it.
So Dysons are really for dailies. So we realize that it's the
vacuum
most
your car
effective.
also.
Yeah, we use it for our car.
It's cordless, so
I
you can
use it
just
for
pop
our
it
beds as
inside.
well. The small little
Oh,
attachment.
How- yes.
Don't
that
you-
one
don't-
every time
The
when
dust mites.
for
Don't
the
get
dust
me
mites,
started with the
everything.
attachments. We will not stop.
The first time when I used that dust mite thing, we were vacuuming in
were
our old
shocked.
condo and we was like just going through the bed.
Oh,
Then I look at it, I
you
was
look
like,
inside, right?
this is just from our bed. Then I was like, let me clear it. Went to the pillow. I saw the amount on the pillow
my
and I just got
God.
disgusted.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Because
I
we've never
cannot.
had a vacuum that has all these attachments.
good,
That could actually
Yeah.
do certain things like that because our parents definitely don't have a vacuum where they can vacuum the mattresses.
Yeah, our parents' vacuum is put in the sun.
The big one.
Correct. So that immediately flashed in front of my face. I was like, oh my God. For so many of my life, like my whole entire life staying at home, my mom just sun it only. With all my saliva, my dead skin, everything.
Badminton racket and sun. My job last time, full on sinus allergy attack. Every single time. What's allergy last time? Take Panadol. But that's my job lah, right? But yeah, I just on the note, like I think that whole choice of buying stuff when it was just us versus the kids, right? I was very, very like I never buy the best for myself, like in terms of clothes or whatnot, right? But I found a very big switch when Haley was born, and then we realized that she had the risk of asthma, and I felt so guilty because obviously she doesn't have asthma. It came from me. I just went all out. Like I held nothing back in terms of like, okay, purifier, what do you need? We're arranging fuming for the home, what do you need? The vacuum, what do you need? Proper pillows, what do you need? But I think I'm just also quite thankful that she gives me the trust that I also can pull the trigger when it comes to spending money in terms of that. Because like, hey, we had a really, I don't know what you guys realize, really positive discussion about spending money just now, which I don't know whether exists in a lot of people's lives most of the time. Because I think we fall back to the same the format, right? If she want to buy something for the house, I won't question anything. You buy lah. But it starts to get a bit like iffy if you don't have conversations about spending money in terms of that. But I guess for us, is it safe to say that we all have 50-50 in terms of like what we spend? Is it an assigned thing to get sign permit first before you buy something in the family? Is that
I
a
think it
price point?
depends. If you buy it for the house, then you pretty much feel like, oh, so long as it's worth it and it works for us, why not? But when you buy things for yourself, I think then that's a different question. Yeah.
We did have an episode where we talked about shared bank accounts, not shared bank accounts. And something that I think we both practice also is we have one shared bank account, but we have our individual bank accounts as well. Do you guys believe in the independence of cash? Since, we live in an era where wife allowances are apparently a topic that people fight about. Like, what is your stance on that? Like, is there a double check, or as long as you're doing it for the house, it's okay for you guys?
I don't believe in an allowance. And I'll explain why. I think when you give an allowance, I mean, as a kid, when you get an allowance, say you get $5, right? As a kid, your natural instinct is that I have to spend this $5, right? And then, of course, you try to learn the concept of saving. But let's be honest, like, you don't really end up saving that much, right? I think I believe in a different system. I believe in a system where, at least financially, you buy what is necessary at that point, what you can afford at that point. And, as much as you can save, you save the rest. Yeah. So I think between Amanda and I, we don't have a specific account for it, but we do it in the form of credit cards.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the end of the month, we are both accountable for most of the spending. I mean, certain things, of course, we use cash, small little things here and there. It's not a big thing, but any so-called more important purchases, yeah, it's all there in your statement. Right. And then when your statement comes, you have to pay it off in cash.
Of course.
Right. Then we look at it and then we go like, okay, so this is how much I'm going to put in and this is how much you're going to put in. Yeah. So even though maybe on her card, she might spend a little bit more, but I say, okay, never mind. Because this was for the house, this was for this one, okay lah, you deserve this. So I'm going to buy this for you. So we underestimate it lah. Yeah, or certain months where, she puts maybe some of her work expenses on the credit card. Then she puts in more cash this month to say like, okay, I spend it on this, and then we earn the points from it, and then we use the points for our holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works the same way. I mean, it's like a joint savings, just like yours is in a credit card.
Just that we got
It's
points.
a separate thing.
Yeah. You're giving me ideas. I was so happy when I redeemed my first toaster with my points as well.
Right, yeah.
Free some more DeLonghi. Sorry, that was the time. Nowadays got better Dyson stuff. Anyway, let's go into a section, because we've been talking for quite a while. This is obviously a longer episode because, we have the wives here as well. We asked people recently about, give questions, if there is any questions that people want to ask when it comes to like the guys versus the girls, the men versus the women. I want to keep them anonymous, okay? I'm not going to reveal your names. Person 1, is it true? Husbands will go out to buy things, but wives will pay more for deliveries.
You mean like online shopping versus going physically?
Guys
Buy
like to
food.
go to the store, but wife will say deliver it to the house. Is it true?
No.
Depending on the things.
Depends on
Yes.
So John's rationale is, hey, you gotta go out anyway. You're gonna use gas money. You're gonna pay for the toll. You're gonna pay for parking. It all adds up to the same thing.
So
You might as well
deliver.
deliver.
It's time.
He's the delivery guy.
He's the time guy.
Yes.
Time is money.
The time guy.
That's why we're expensive watch.
Efficiency.
If it's big items, also delivery. Like let's say, like if say buy IKEA,
Yeah.
will you rather go to the IKEA to pick up, go in, if
Unless
you
I want
stay
the
in
hot dog,
condo?
Before.
No, like let's say like let's say
yeah.
big photo frames
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like table.
What
right?
Amanda and I would do, we'll go to IKEA to find all the items we want, take the numbers, go home, and then order it online.
Yeah, correct. So like that,
Yes,
I'd rather
yes.
pay the delivery for them to send straight to your doorstep than to have to save 100. I don't know how much is it now.
And that drives
to,
the economy as well.
Send to go in the car, take the
Correct,
trolley, go up.
On top
And
of
to
that,
add on to that, because I requested for him to buy me a new cupboard for my birthday.
Oh.
So I can put all my new clothes.
Hey.
so I
So
was
my
like,
mistake
yeah.
was to not add for the person to build the cupboard.
yes,
So I thought I want to be an
Yeah,
independent
don't
woman,
fall for it.
You
build
want
it
to be,
myself. And now I regret it because it's still sitting there, not even halfway done. Yeah,
And the
so
guys will do
every
it very
day-
fast.
They would do it very
yes.
fast for like a fraction of the price.
Is there an
Correct.
after service that you can actually call them to come in now?
No.
No, I think you
Okay,
have.
there's a
Yeah,
trick.
yeah.
You order something else?
You order something else,
Actually,
you ask them to assemble, and then when the guy
Then
comes,
you
you just
pay-
give
you
him
tell
50
them,
bucks.
Oh my
I got a
gosh.
guy.
Yes, you do?
I got a guy.
Okay.
Or you make friends with them because a lot of them
Means
are
got a
a lot of them they don't actually they're not actually IKEA employees.
Yeah.
Oh, they're subcon.
They are subcon.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
ask them if you want to buy extra screw, then they're like, ini 20 ringgit. Like it's a sub.
They
you
come with
pay
all the
them.
stuff.
I need the
there's
contact.
spare. There's
But to
spare.
come and fix a half-built cupboard, I don't know whether he'll take the job. lah.
Unless you have a nice carpenter, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we got...
Mine's not even built yet. It's just lying there on the floor.
It's alright.
Yeah.
All you need to do is ask daddy. She hasn't asked me to help her to build something.
You rest it because we respect.
Maybe she's
Wait, so
waiting
you
for
see
you
that?
to
Yeah.
volunteer.
No, because she said she wants to
do
build
it.
it.
Yeah.
So she wanted to be a strong, independent woman.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I
Then
just
she
say,
changed her
okay, go ahead. Then after that, because she said she can build it, no problem.
Yes.
Because
Can I
the
just
previous one,
say,
she
right,
built it
sometimes,
herself.
right, sometimes you don't have to be a strong, independent woman.
True. No, actually,
Okay, can I like straight up say at home, I don't pretend to be a strong independent woman. Like I look at John and I'm like, please worship me, treat me like a queen. You know, like I am not strong, I'm not independent, I don't know what I'm doing. Like help me.
I take on different roles. Sometimes I'm the chef. Sometimes I'm the carpenter. Sometimes I'm the handyman.
But all the
Most
time-
of the time, I'm the handyman, actually.
But all the time you're the daddy.
Yes.
I was just gonna say. That is true.
Sometimes change batteries in the kids' toy, so she cannot. She's like, can you change the batteries?
Suyen calls this, it's my small girl time. Because the whole day I need to be big girl. So when the kids go to sleep, I want to be small girl.
Yeah. I agree.
That's
Because
the
you see, right, our wives, right, they were taken care of by their fathers.
Amen.
And there are times where their fathers really spoil them. So there will be times where our wives want us to spoil them. Right? And we just have to do it. Just have to do it.
Who spoil you?
Who spoil us? Nobody spoil us. We are strong, independent men.
She spoiled me.
Yes.
You see?
It's all about the cake
Yes, all
at the end of the night.
I love dessert.
I love dessert.
I got a few people here that love dessert. If you have no idea what we're talking about, sorry, it's another show that we're not talking about today. But I just want to put there that, you know, the whole building thing, when Suyen enters her nesting phase after she gets pregnant, I can come home to 3 different cupboards all built in the same day.
I built almost all the IKEA stuff in our house, but honestly, cupboards are the most difficult one.
I just want to say also, I am an enabler because I like building things. I bought power tools. So everything is superbly easy to build. Because I had a stage where when she moved into KL, I built her cupboard for her by hand. And I'm like, I'm never going through this again.
Screwdriver.
Yeah, I mean, I love you, but I don't love you that much.
We
Right?
using Allen key.
Bro,
No. I
that's-
have power tools. I bought
Yeah.
power tools.
So my power tools are specifically bought to assemble furniture. Like all my drills are not like for drilling. It's all the screw heads and everything, right?
Yeah. We have that, right?
And she realized we have that now. There was one time she was like heavily pregnant, 7 months in.
Then he would tell me like, don't do it.
this,
Wait for me
don't
to
do this,
come
wait
back.
for me
Then
to-
like by the time you come back so late, it'll probably take a week for you to build it.
I came home one day,
I just built it.
it's all done. And I'm like, why are you standing on top of the ladder painting something else at this point? But hey, strong,
just like get this
strong
done.
independent woman. She's like that, okay? That I just want to say, I think back to the question, right? Husband will go out to buy things, wife pay for more, lives at home. Honest question. I think your husband just want to leave the house a bit more.
I think, yeah.
Like some guys, my dad's
Yeah,
a
got
good
reason to
example.
go out.
My dad just want to go out and do things.
No,
Like-
but I like to do that sometimes also. So like sometimes I would volunteer to go and buy dinner and drive out alone to pick up dinner just because it gives me that 10 minutes of peace.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Guys lean more to that.
Trying to say there's no peace at home? No, I'm
See
kidding.
that?
Okay. I'm not here to pick a fight, okay?
See, all the guys
quiet.
like that.
Who asked you to marry spicy wives?
Oh,
It's like that, not spicy.
right.
You said it once before.
Yeah, right. I told you,
said it
Dennis,
once
we
before.
talked about this,
Yes,
right?
we
See?
talked about this.
I want to say I was there when they're talking about this. I was not.
I have to say that it's partially your fault also.
I will adhere to the bro code. I hear nothing. I see nothing. I will say nothing.
Bang, bang.
But I have to say the only thing
Malaysian women, very good one.
Bro,
Yes,
great.
yeah.
Elaborate, John, and then
Nothing.
Brother,
Next,
brother,
so what did
help me
person
out.
2
You're
say?
digging your own hole at this point.
what
I've been
did
trying
person
to
two say?
you know.
What did person
I
two
just
say?
want to, yeah, okay. Person 2. Let's just go to
Oh,
person
I'm so
2.
interested.
Are you against your spouse remarrying if you poof first?
Oh, if you die first,
I don't know whether you guys had this talk, but we've had countless talks. Who go first can marry or not. How long until you marry?
Ooh.
She'll be picked up very fast. So
Ah.
no, but of course for me, if I were to leave first, we spoke about this before that I want her to continue her life. Regardless, like because at the end of the day, I love her and I want her to be happy. If I'm not there, takkan I want you to suffer alone. So obviously, but at the end of the day, it's also at the end of the day when I'm not around, how you feel at that moment, whatever goes, like because I'm no longer around. So that's how I see it.
The other way though, have you asked her if she go first? Then
Just put my face everywhere. On the dashboard. Your wallet. So your next wife would know how important I am.
Just in case.
What next wife? There will not be a next
Everywhere.
wife. I'll just be alone. With John, we'll be friends. Ming, we'll be friends.
We will co-parent Jade together.
If that happens, call me for golf.
I will adopt
Are we
Jade.
dying together?
Where is Amanda?
Dennis and I will raise Zayn and Jade.
Wow. So where am I?
No, I say you're both poofed at the same time lah.
It's dope.
Touch wood lah, touch wood.
I mean, it was a question.
It's a hypothetical question.
Never. I need this one right here. You cannot go.
I just want to say, if that ever happens, we need to delete this video.
But for real, I think widowed men are very high demand.
Oh.
What? This one, I don't dare to think also, bro. You different.
He's been thinking about this a lot.
He's been on the other side of the internet.
When he's not at home, what does he think about? Now I know.
I told you we should not have gotten the watch.
Which part of the dark web were you on, John?
No, just kidding. Okay, the reason being, and I'll explain this why. Because most of the time, guys who are not married, most of the time they have a certain boyish nature about them. Oh. But I think guys who get married, and go through very happy marriages like Amanda and I, you tend to already learn the lessons already.
Yeah.
Right?
You got proof of concept.
Which makes you, I guess, have a different type of energy as a guy.
Experience.
Right? Yeah, experience, more sensitive,
You're a
more
proven
considerate.
case.
More daddy lah.
Yeah, so
Wiser.
Proof you work.
yeah, so
Yes.
yeah. You're not you pass the test already lah.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, but if I were to answer the question, if Amanda were to touch wood, poof, and the words remarry or date again?
Either.
Remarry, remarry. I don't know.
Just straight to
Marriage again, I don't know. Yeah, but date again,
I guess
maybe.
find another person.
Yeah, maybe have another partner. But most likely, and I'll be real, right? I'll probably find a partner who also has kids. Yeah. So I have a friend who the mom passed away and the dad remarried a divorced woman.
Okay.
And then now it's like the family got 5 kids.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like 2, then suddenly automatically you got 3 stepbrothers. I feel it's very common also. I think it's more common than we think. But I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Of course, but of course you must find the right time period lah. Yeah. No, not immediately after.
That
give it some
insane.
time.
But of course, you gotta heal first.
I think it depends
you
also,
gotta
like
heal.
if it's in like
Because
your
I'll be very, very
20s,
sad.
your 30s, or 60s.
Correct.
Yeah.
Depending also, a lot of
Plus,
factors.
in different stages, I guess your wants are also different, right?
Yeah.
If your kids grow up already, but then I guess.
Yeah. Amanda, what if John poof first? What will you do?
Yes, Amanda, what will you do?
I mean, my market is open.
Girls' night out. No, I'm kidding. No, okay. For real, I don't know what I'll do, but the one thing I know for sure is that if I ever find another partner, he or she or whatever has to be suitable, a good parental role to my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't thought about it. If it happens, it happens. I guess I don't think I will actively go out and look for it.
Just go.
I think honestly it's more common for guys, right? I told her so if I die first, please just go find happiness. Don't worry about me. The only thing that maybe I'll put into place is the new guy can't touch any of my money that I leave for behind. Like I'm that kind of petty, right?
I will be that petty.
Don't touch
like
my
all my
stuff.
life insurance money and everything I leave behind is for you to spend.
Correct.
And for my child.
There'll be clauses in place.
Yeah, no, we just set up a trust.
Yes.
Right? And then the trust, everything must stay
when I get to that kind of money, then maybe I'll think about
Bro,
that.
your cars already is that kind of
Yes,
money.
yes.
I like how you like to bluff
all your
yourself every
assets,
day.
all your cash.
Just
Only your
say,
wife can spend.
Hey, imagine someone come sit in your car, bro. And then say, we
Drive
sell
your car.
this lah. We sell this car.
And then you must
Drive
have 2
your car.
signees. Dennis, your wife must sign
is
off and your
inside
mother
me.
must sign off.
Now you're feeling it. But I think the fun part comes when it's not fun. The funny part is I will very willingly just say, I think if I go first, just do you. Just find a good father. But then she said, what if I die first? I'm like, if you die first, my life will forever be incomplete lah. Like, I'll just never
No,
because
we should have got him to answer first, then we would have got it.
there was one night she was like, No, because there was a conversation before that. If I die first, how long will you wait before you marry
that was
again?
Before you wait.
Yeah. Then I'm like, how long should I wait before I get married again? Is there a right answer? No. I don't think you should get married again. I think I'll feel it. I'm like, I don't think you will feel it. I think you're dead. So, yeah. Like, I think that was a very interesting moment. The first time we talked about it, she actually felt like, she don't get married.
Yeah, I think I think that was like after Sarah was born.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was like really touched if anything happened now. Like you either need to move to your mother's house or your parents need to move into our house because there's no way he can like handle like at that point, right? So, but I was like, jokingly we're like, no man, you cannot marry. But I mean, in reality, I was telling him like, I feel you will probably need it would be nice for someone to look after.
Yeah, because
you.
Recently we had a friend whose wife also just passed away, and his family is the same setup as our family. So I really felt it. And I felt that if you are at what stage of the life you're at, right? I think my girls need a mom, if anything. So it definitely will be more I think it'll be more consequential on our family if you pass away first. If I'm gone, maybe the kids forget about it half a year after that, then they'll be cool again.
Bit hard.
Don't say like that.
but because I feel that it comes back to that role of usefulness, right? Like I always believe that you are the caretaker and the kids need your caretaking. For me, it's more of like I'm there to provide and then have the care in place. If I'm able to leave this earth with that provision in check, that's my goal.
You mean like something's more physical versus one more emotional?
Because I know the emotional one,
you cannot
it will
like
hit,
replace.
Yeah, it will pass and everything, but I just need to make sure my role is done and I'm good with you if you need to find love. But then I asked her, can I find love again? She's like, maybe after 50 years. I'm like, 50 years, I can't find you again, no. I don't think I'll go anywhere.
50 years, I see you first.
So it's safe to say that out of 3 couples here, that three of the husbands said actually it's okay to go and date again, and 3 of the wives said no.
Usually like that, right? I don't
So to all of you watching this, if you have a partner, a wife, or a girlfriend, statistically, go and ask them and then leave a comment to see whether you are part of this 100% statistic. That 100% guy said, it's okay, go ahead and date again. I just want you to be happy. Or the other way around. Or maybe you don't allow your wife to date and your wife said, yeah, you should.
So I changed my answer. Yes, you can date again, but I might come back to haunt you lah.
That is exactly what Jazel would say.
Let's do it together.
Bro.
Yeah, because
Right?
we poof together, right?
Exactly.
Your house already got all her faces everywhere.
If anything, we just move in together. We just raise our kids together.
As long as it's not Subang.
If you take upstairs,
But you cannot stay Subang.
If you
That's
take
my only condition.
if you
Dennis.
stay upstairs, I stay downstairs. Upstairs, all men faces.
You guys will never get laid again in your life.
The house outside is basically 2 of their faces. Then they ask, who stays here? Us.
Is this the picture of the president? No, bro. It's our wife's.
You guys will be so famous. You'll never need to work a day again in your life. Your wives will be providing for you guys way after they are gone at that point. I will build you 2 shrines at that point, you know. Oh my gosh. Moving on. Question number 3.
Finally, question number 3.
Question number 3. Are there any off-limit topics that you don't talk about when you're in public? Is there any lines and things where you do not talk about in public and it's only at home?
I think for us, it's more of just, because we've been together for so long and I know what would irk her or what would make her unhappy and things like that. And she knows the same for me. So we just don't want to go out there and embarrass each other. So even if there's certain arguments at home or things like that, we don't say it out. You know, unless we have spoken about it and we are okay with each other about it, then certain arguments or something we would share with certain friends to just sort of like share the experience. Hopefully you guys don't go through the same thing. Or if you guys are, then this was how we handled it. So that's pretty much it. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, we just don't air our dirty laundry. And if it's close friend, it's fine, but to a certain limit. We just don't want to trigger each other. Yeah.
Because you guys do have very, very good circles of close friends. I think both of you are, right?
Yeah, we do.
Your girl gang, your guy, Dennis literally got 101 guy friends. I lost count at some point.
I don't have that many.
Okay. But yeah, okay. So there is the whole like fighting in public. I think like, is that a limit or based on your feeling? There's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just going to say. Because I've seen.
It's been a while since we fought in public, and if we do, we will probably put it aside first, and we would resume later. But most of the time,
I don't think we actually fight in public.
Yeah.
Maybe disagreement, but we won't even like make it awkward for people around
Correct.
us because we don't want that because
it's between us.
Yeah, it's between us, not
Yeah.
anyone else's fault, so they don't have to go with this, you know. But of course, we would not be very like smiley at that time lah. But this was
a little bit.
But this was a while ago. Like now with the baby and stuff being at home, we talk more at home and communicate and try to like resolve things peacefully. Because at the end we still have to
That's true.
serve the baby.
That's true. That's true. The baby always watching.
Oh yes, yeah.
Baby
Oh
was
yes,
watching.
yes, correct.
Really, I think around like never fight or talk bad about the other person in front of your children. I think they read the room quite well. And then also like in front of family, do not discredit the person lah. Your spouse, no matter how much you don't discredit them in front of your friends.
No matter
or
how
even,
bad my laundry is, she will never say that in front of her mum. You know what I mean? That's real love right there. But it's along the point. I think someone mentioned before. Oh, but my child don't understand English yet. You know, we can fight. What you can fight? I'm like,
Vibes,
hey,
energy, they
the
can pick that up.
emotions get picked up really fast. I think when the kid came into play, definitely is a lot of like you think about how you talk to each other in front of your kid. I feel that's like the trigger point in terms of like boundaries for a lot of couples, right? Because I do have friends who are still very explosive when they fight with their couple, and I'm like, where's your child during your arguments? Like you argue into the night. Oh yeah, they're just there. We're taking care of them while we fight.
This is one thing that I think we try our best that not to do, so to argue or to shout. I mean, obviously when you're angry or when some certain thing happens, you will raise your voice, but we will try actively to try to not do that because I really do see that Jade would sort of like
She would pick up on
she
it.
would pick up on it. So let's say for example, I would hit her.
Oh.
Right? Jade would think that it's fun and hit her as well. You know, so the other day I actually did like
Not to say there's hitting, I don't want to put it there. There's no
we were just playing
No,
around.
when I said
Correct.
hit, actually I spanked her.
Mommy.
Okay?
Then that's different.
Okay?
And what is Jade watching?
No.
What?
So Jade was playing her phone, but she was staring at that. Then when we looked over, she
laughed.
She laughed. She find it very funny. So she came and she started just spanking.
So now in public, so previously we were on a cruise, I was picking our food and she started spanking
Then she
my
laughed because
butt.
it was funny. So that was where
Yeah.
it came back to me. I was like, oh wow, that's what would happen. But that's why I say it's very important for how the parents act. You know, like sometimes Jade doesn't want to come and hug us or something like that. So mommy and daddy hug her. And then she will come, and then she'll come and hug us. So you see that your actions would actually affect the child. So if you're arguing in front of the child and the child is watching, they might not react right now, but it comes back. They stall. And when you start arguing with them in the future, they would react to you the way they see you react.
Is there anything off limits for you guys in terms of public at home? Yes, no, private, public.
I mean, I think we're still developing those boundaries. I'm a very explosive person. I think over the years, I have definitely learned to tame it. Because I came from a very explosive household. Not to blame them, but it is what it is, right? I've had to really catch myself. So I think at this point, when it comes to the point where I can feel myself boiling, I have to self-regulate.
Right.
I really, really have to self-regulate. And very much like Dennis and Jazel, you know, we try to be a bit more loving in front of our kid. We kiss him, we kiss each other, and then likewise he will run over and kiss us as well. So yeah, they really pick up whatever you do, you know. I grew up in an environment where my parents would fight with each other. So it's been very normalized. So it's a lot of work to undo that. And every day it's like, okay, this
Because
is not
it's,
right.
to us, it's muscle memory. It's just how it has always been. But now we cannot use this muscle memory.
We cannot repeat it.
You got a chance. You got a chance to change it, right? But hey, credit where it's due. You guys do keep your private lives very private in terms of like being social media all the time. But I know a lot of people who air dirty laundry. Like the most crazy one is like the passive aggressive ones that like you always meet them and fine. Wow, but the stuff that they post online is just like
No, I feel
trigger
like once you cross that line, and that is your way of feeling better about yourself or trying to
Retaliate.
trying to be right in the relationship, I think that's when things will just go south all the way. You know, and it's no longer just between you and your partner, you know. It's like, you know, when couples break up without kids, you know, the girl will post a black Instagram story, you know, and then it's like a meeting call to all the guys that I am now available, please slid into my DMs, you know. But then when you have a kid, it's different, you know. It's no longer, oh, I break up and then like I share with people that I'm sad and then I go and party and I go through that whole phase. You know, I think once you have kids, it's just very different. Yeah. So I think I don't believe in airing your dirty laundry on social media because I feel that it's very toxic and you are involving people who don't want to be involved.
they don't have the context. Also.
And humans, especially Malaysians and Singaporeans and all, we are very capo. We will thrive on this information, especially if you know the context, if you know a little bit of everything, and then that would feel it to be even worse. You know, and maybe that was a moment thing for that person, but it might end up being the identity of that person. You know, and then it just starts growing and growing, and nobody wants to see a family get broken.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants. And look, if you can split amicably, you can split in a mature way, you take care of your kid, you co-parent.
Sure.
Like, I respect couples who co-parent.
Yeah.
And co-parent healthily. It's like, okay, you and I, you know, we work together, you and I, but now with a kid, we realize that we can't be together, but we make an effort to co-parent. I actually have a lot of respect for that. You know, it's way harder than it actually looks. Because you can no longer break up and say, okay, I never want to see you again. I block you on social media and that's it. You know, you still have to go through life with this person. So, I mean, just don't air your dirty laundry
I think
on social
at the end of
media.
the day, for all relationship, one of the key thing is that you need to have mutual respect, right? If you have mutual respect, then the dirty laundry wouldn't be aired. But once that is gone, that's why you say it goes all the way down, because it shows that you don't have respect for me and my privacy. So that it means that the relationship has no meaning already. So yeah, like what you say, it goes all the way down.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a big habit, right? Because a lot of people are growing up with that habits now. Everything is online. And then I think in some way, I'm glad that we are part of the era that didn't see the internet first into the internet. So we retain some of those habits or behaviors. Old school. Keep it offline. Off the lines.
Once everything goes online, there's no taking back. Like, it's up there. I think like once we had Haley, I think a lot of things we put on there, I really would think twice before I post something. Because like the teachers in her school follow us on social media. The parents in her class, also some of them follow. So I feel like everything we do has an impact in some way. And anything on social media never comes back.
Yeah.
So like really whatever message we put out there, we also really, having a kid really makes you think twice. It's not just a matter of like, I just post because I feel like it now. And then you take it down later.
The only limit that I felt like I need to do is not really anything, but I like to make fun of people a lot. I like to joke about the family. And I realized that I like to joke with her. I like to joke about the kids. But it came to child safety and how much you post of your kid online. And I think that was for me I mean, because and the flip side is we are both not aggressive people. So yes, we don't fight as much, but it also means it takes 5 years to tell her that I don't want my clothes to be folded. You know what I mean? It's the other side of the coin lah. For me, the limits were because I talk about a lot of funny things online. I make fun of a lot of stuff. I had to learn how not to post a lot of my kids and make fun of them as well. Because it's funny to me now, but you know, even like I have a bittersweet thing also lah, because when we made our brand, like this brand called Putih Pao, right? I realized that I would have loved to grow the brand, but that would also mean Haley would have been labeled Putih Pao throughout primary school.
People started calling her Putih Pao
Yeah,
at some point.
and that hit me at that point. I'm like, okay, so this is the limit. This is what I don't want to leave for our kid, you know, the branding or the hashtag that stays. What are some norms that you feel you've broken from your past generation? To leave it on a good note lah. Like it can be anything. It can be like, I think one thing that I'm very, like for example, very proud of is I make it a point because I've seen how much, like for my grandma, my dad's mom was the matriarch, right? But it also came with a lot of very sharp aggro sharp tongue against my mom. And I saw that. And no matter what she said, my mom had to do. It was as if her word is law. I said that. And I feel like one generational thing that I've really stood up for is that we agreed also lah. I never want to fight your parents. You never want to fight my parents. So I will fight my parents for you. But you have to fight your parents for me. Because it's a very weird dynamic, right? When you start to cross the family border, it's like, I first of all, I don't know your context. You grew up differently and I respect that. So you know how to fight that off. And you should not fight my side because her family is so passive. Mine is Cantonese, So
My parents very
quiet
understanding.
parents, And I felt like that is one of the norms that we broke because my mom is having a very hard, my parents also have to adjust to it that, hey, your daughter-in-law don't have to follow everything you say. Your daughter-in-law wants to make better choices for this or different choices for this. And one of that gender norms that I'm breaking is that, this hierarchy exists. This respect still exists, but differently in a sense where let her build her own home. I will disagree with you. And thank God my mom is not like my grandma was like, oh, you don't love me anymore, you don't respect me, that kind of thing.
Your mom is like the nicest.
Oh, that's nice. So I mean, I always made a joke. I grew up with a different woman, and the woman you're seeing now loves her grandkids way more than
see
she
your
loves.
mom more than you see your mom
That's
sometimes.
also true at this point, But it's along those lines of gender norms in terms of like, let's end with something that we are trying to break for the betterment of the next gen. Like, what do you think you guys are trying to make? It can be anything from like, I'm trying to change when I Heng was here, he was trying to change the whole perspective of, my dad's always at work. His son believes he never works because his son, he's just there. And like, in his son's eyes, my papa doesn't work. He's just on his computer all the time or playing with me. So I'm like, wow, that's a really big thing that you didn't expect from such a Chinese guy like him, Like, what do you guys think in terms of that is your effort that you want to break in terms of gender norms in your gen? Take it away.
I think for me, similarly, my dad is constantly working in KL and we're always in Malacca, so I never see him. And when he comes back for the weekends, it's his time. So I felt like me and my siblings, we didn't have a great bond with my dad. So what I told Dennis is I want Jade to experience a father's love.
More dad times.
Yes, more dad times. And he's been doing such a great job at it. And I'm so blessed and thankful that we could break this generational curse. Of a father-daughter bonding relationship.
That's where it comes from. Hey, he's doing it well.
And I mean also because that's really what we wanted when we want to start a family. We want to be at home, and at the time I was thinking like, okay, let me work hard for the next 3-4 years so that when I have a kid, I can, like what John said, if I got 10 jobs, I cut 5 because I want to cut, because I want to spend time with the kids. So I would say I'm very just blessed and grateful for like you said, we took the risk 10 to 15 years ago to do what we're doing right now, and we don't see that this is the result. We never dreamt of today, but we kept working hard towards today. And at the same time, I was working hard in the career that I was building. We met and then we started dating, and then together we pursued this career. That's why we are very similar in a way. So that's why a lot of things is just us compromising our ways to make it fit and work in our relationship. Yeah.
Oh, now it makes sense. What about you guys? Like, do you have, it doesn't have to be a spoken out thing, but an intention to undo or break or have something new in terms of that?
I think I would just want my son to grow up in a loving home. I don't think I didn't grow up in a loving home, but it was not shown, it was not felt,
The Asian love.
Yeah, it's the Asian love, which it is what it is, but I would like to do it different in every sense of the word, you know? Yeah.
Just more expressive love lah.
Yeah.
We just had the whole eat already not.
Yeah.
Drink water.
Yeah,
That's it.
I buy this for you. Yeah. I tap out food for you.
Oh, actually,
Correct.
I see this a lot, Like,
It's an Asian thing.
because so we have her godmother at home, and her godmother actually took care of her growing up. So every time the godmother goes out and buys something, or the godmother just came back from Malacca, she would always buy toys, stickers, sometimes new clothes for the baby. And I'm like, wait, why buy more? Then I
Love language is materialism.
correct.
Yeah.
Because I buy this, you play, I can go and cook, I can go and do my stuff. So that was what I see that, so previous generation, that was what they do. Because I don't remember when I was 3 years old what happened. I was just asking Jazel, actually 3 years old, what was I doing? I don't remember a single thing. But Jade has photos lah, videos of every move she has lah, that daddy and mommy's in every photo, you know. So yeah, I think our child is very blessed, you know, for us to be able to do what we do and to be able to spend so much time with our child compared to a lot of my friends out there who has a 9 to 5 and they have to travel and things like that. Yeah, we're very blessed.
John.
Generational curse. I think for me, it's... I think I would want to be able to have a household where I feel peace at home.
Wow.
I think that's what I want to attain. You know, I don't think I'm there yet. You know, and if that comes with compromise, if that comes with sacrifice, you know, I work towards that level of peace, you know, and that's like, you know, with like the social aspect, there's a financial aspect, you know, there's an emotional aspect as well.
So peace in all senses.
Yeah, peace in all sense that I can come home and I feel like that's where I want to be.
Nice.
You know, and I might not have the privilege or the luxury to always be in that space, you know, but I want to know that the moment I step into my household, you know, like there is peace, you know, there's smiles, you know, my kids will be happy to see me, you know, a kid will be happy to see me.
I see you,
know.
I see you, I see you, bro.
Yeah, you know, my wife would smile at me when I come home. You know, I think it's things like that I would really want because I don't want... I grew up very independent. You know, I grew up thinking that the idea is to be as independent at the youngest age possible. You know, and I always felt like, okay, you know, I don't need my parents. You know, but I think I would want, you know, at least my son, you know, to feel...
To have that peace where I want to rely on you guys.
That he's still independent in that sense, you know, but he knows that there's always, you know, that home is always a level of comfort for him. But yet can't be a little shit.
I can see my dad pivoting into that right now. My dad is like, I want my kids to want me now. Dad, you raised 3 really independent kids at this point. Like, let's go for tea time tomorrow. Dad, we are all working tomorrow, you know? That kind of thing. So, you know, I get what you mean. Like, I can see my dad doing that. But, you know, they just maybe one generation late at this point.
No, and I think one thing that I was talking to Amanda with just this week, you know, like, right now we're so focused on our kids, you know, and we haven't seen the curveball that's coming our way, which is our parents actually getting older. You know, I think your parents in their 50s, 60s, they're still independent, but once they hit 70s,
and become dependent.
80s and 90s, you know, it's going to be different. As you spend less like full-time care on your kids because they're going to school and they're going through a routine, then I think that's where you start seeing the other end of things. You know, I think that's a curveball that's coming our way, you know, that we might or might not even be prepared for. And it will be a whole different dynamic. It will be a whole different energy. You know, I think it's just being mentally, physically, and financially prepared for that as well.
I think our generation, one thing is having hard conversations. And I think what I seen in my family life and also to us as a couple, it's how do we communicate? How do we even have disagreement without hurting the other person? Just when things I will always ask him, are you happy? Is there anything that's bothering you? Or is there anything if I could change, would you want? Because I feel like on the other side, we grow up with usually the mom is a more dominant side. And then the dad just becomes very passive and very quiet. One thing I would change is to have that hard conversation. And that's where we started. It's like just have very normal, to make it so many times that it becomes so normal that it doesn't feel awkward. And you just start small, even like when we were dating us, like if you are gaming, don't need to message me. Don't feel guilty when you message me and then you want to game.
It's a very big guilt. It was a very big guilt because my parents made me feel like gaming is guilt. I feel very guilty playing games.
So like I feel like my aim is I want to unearth this to come to the place where we could both genuinely feel like free to do what we want to do and be very honest with one another, because I really feel closer to him whenever we have this conversation. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you feel that, but now I do.
Most of the time, I didn't know I feel that too.
Correct. And I feel like that's where like he would never tell me things, or he may never even realize that about him until like I prompt him and ask. So I also started with like my parents. Like we would talk things we probably never talked before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that slowly like breaks a bit more of that like hard glass. And now my parents are a bit more receptive. Like we hug more. If it's not okay, I say you must tell me. You cannot just endure it.
Her parents and definitely grew up in an era where you just do what you needed to do. Don't talk about it. Don't feel about it. You are responsible. You show up today and do it. Then now suddenly they realize, oh, I can talk about it.
So I think it starts with someone needs to initiate. In my family, definitely I initiate that ball a lot. And then I feel with Hayley, that's where I tell her like, it's okay. If I make mistake, I'll tell you I'm sorry. But and then she also said, oh, really? It's okay? I said, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then I say, sometimes when he talks to her, his voice, his pitch is a bit like loud. Then she's like, oh, daddy's angry with me. I say, no, but you should tell him. When you do like that, I feel you were angry with me. But then that's when I feel like that's all that clarity. It's just one conversation. But like when you don't say it, you just leave it, then it's based on assumption. Then it's like unnecessary. That could have been undone at that point. So I feel like that is what I continually want to do in our relationship and in our family as well, to make that difference. And then hopefully when it's time for her to start a family, then she doesn't have to start from ground zero. At least she gets to like 10% and then like she can take off from there.
Yeah. I think like my dad also, the very funny thing that we grew up with is definitely conversation. Like what we talk about. Because yes, definitely there's anger problems or there's like Asian stuff growing up. But I think what really I would really want to establish is that when it comes to the really awkwardly weird, difficult things to talk about, that's where a lot of Asian families stray away from. Like they don't tell you what to do the first time you go break up. They don't tell you what to do if you do something wrong. Like you smoked for the first time or took drugs. And you don't know what to do because you're just told that don't do this. But there's no follow-up of like, oh, I did this, now what? Did I just get disowned? You know, that kind of thing, right? I think that's where I think I seen growing up where my dad raised 2 boys first and then suddenly there was a girl. And he had no idea how to talk to this girl. And I'm like, shucks, today I have 2 girls and no boys. And I realized that if there's anything I want to break, is that awkwardness for dads to talk to girls about girl stuff. For me lah, because don't talk about guy stuff lah. My dad talked to us about circumcision. I wanted to like dig my ears out at some point. Yeah, it was really weird. Like I remember this, it's seared into my brain. You see how prominent that was, right? But if there's anything, like I think it's that ability to talk and give the kids a space where you can tell me about anything. And I would talk to you about anything as well, you know? And that's really it. And today I'm happy to, like, you know, you just said, Hayley has the ability to say that I'm not scolding you, I'm just talking very loud.
Yeah.
You know, and she knows the difference between that. And I think if there was that difference that the generational thing is that I'm not a quiet dad, I can talk. You can just talk to me about anything. Because I do envy a bit of the Angmos, you know, at sometimes. Because the Angmos, right, a lot of the dads have very close relationships to their daughters. And I'm like, how do they do it? Let me go figure that out. And you know, the more weddings that I attend nowadays, a lot of these like dads have very close. Wow. Okay lah, it might be the wedding speech lah. Who knows lah, right? Because wedding speech got to be nice, right? But I feel that that's a very weird goal, right? I want to earn that wedding speech. I want that wedding speech, the words to mean every single thing for 2 weddings because I got 2 daughters. So whoever this boy is, you got to earn that wedding speech. But that's the goal. So yeah, guys, it's been a 2-hour episode. We wanted to not do a 2-hour episode, but you know, it's almost there. We are now playing with the renovations happening next door. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, wives, for being here today.
Thanks for having
And
us.
thank you, Dyson. If you guys are checking this out, it's probably going to be end year. It's going to be a time to get a Christmas gift because we didn't even talk about gifting our wives Dysons. Because unlike the whole stereotype of don't give girls flowers and chocolates, no girl is going to say don't give me a Dyson.
Oh, yes.
So hey, yeah.
I love the mop.
So you see, gender norms, some are fully acceptable.
Dyson, call me, okay? Dyson, please call me.
Holla.
How are your boy?
You're the only one that I allow to DM. I mean, she allow. It's about whether she allow.
Slide to the DMs.
So you allow Dyson to DM me? Dyson,
Oh man.
holla at your boy.
For everyone enjoying the Dad podcast this year, we want to thank you guys for watching the show. It's been weird. It's been fun. I've learned more about these two guys than I sometimes want to or need to. But it is, in John's words, our therapy sessions with guys. And I feel that as long as we can give you guys a safe space to hear and talk about stuff, join the Telegram group. We just talk. Just DM the show. DM takeaway. And tell us what you want to do. What you want us to do in 2025. Should we go and do guy things? Because John has always said he want to play golf and tell us.
Play tomorrow.
Oh, there we go. And take us to play golf.
I saw his training. Very good training.
So
Good
guys,
form.
wives, thanks once again for being here. Appreciate your time. I hope we've given you a small escape from the kids as well. And
What would I do without you?
okay. Someone trying to get some cake tonight. I can see.
To equalize the situation.
Yes, you're right. If you guys want to see more of the wives, let us know if we should make the wives a thing, a segment or something.
Just one episode, we don't show up to work, three of them come here and then just start talking. Give them one topic, they talk.
How you do, mom?
How you do, mom?
2025.
That one will be 5 episodes long.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.